for that, so you can't. You're definitely hoping to have some carryover. There's not a lot of carryover, when you look at the schemes. There's some. So you factor all that into it, and because we do have the extra day this week, but really our focus is really about preparing and using that day for this Monday night game.
And you mentioned it there, but this actually starts to stretch where you have like you say, the Monday, Sunday, Thursday. Mm-hmm. So you kind of build that into what you're doing in practice as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the coach's plan, game planning. We always work ahead on a normal week. So in a normal 7-day game stretch, our coaches start Thursday night, and Friday and Saturday on the next opponent, because particularly every coach has a situational responsibility. So now that's obviously heightened because the reality is we need to start that Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week, but also we got to be looking ahead before we even play Washington to make sure we're on top of the Giants. So it's just a lot of pre-planning, and which is, I assume everybody does it like this.
Put a 1 in the chat if the audio's straight. Put a 1 in the chat. Mic check. Mic check.
What do you tell him as he's coming back for looking ahead to 2025?
I mean, really haven't had that conversation yet. I mean, he's, I haven't got the news yet as far as, I know he went in this morning. I communicated with him before that, but yeah, I think the most important thing he needs to do right now is focus on the surgery, the rehab, and just going through that process. Surgery, regardless of what it's for. I mean, it's always tough on the individual. So he needs to just focus on himself right now.
And then you mentioned the extra day a little bit. Is the extra day mitigated because 8, 6, and 4, or
mitigated?
Yeah. Or what do you do with the extra day?
I think just like anything, you got to really look at your workload, because you don't want to go. Where do you do your heavy lifting? It's just the way I've done it. So we kept them on a normal flow, Wednesday through Friday. So then there was, we're cutting it back leading into the game, because obviously the next week will be shorter, and then the next week, obviously the Thursday is going to be even more shorter. So, but yeah, I think you just where do you do the heavy lifting this week is part of the plan, and we're doing ours in the beginning of the week.
John Machota with The Athletic. How did CD come out of the game with the shoulder issue from the week?
Pretty good. He was in everything so far this morning. So.
And then you're not going to have to deal with any sun Monday night, obviously. But you had talked about the week before about possibly changing some stuff up because you guys haven't played well at home. Would you have any interest in having the doors and roof open just because it hasn't been like that for a long time?
You think it'll help us? If you think it'll help us win, I'm all
Yeah.
for it. So.
Come on. Open it up. Open it up.
Saudis with The Athletic. Mike, you talked the other day about Cooper needing to push the ball a little bit more down the field. How do you get him? How do you do that? Is that a play call thing where you call plays that kind of forces his hand down the field, or does he just need to make those throws?
Well, it's not really the way you play. You have 3-step drops that can go down the field, based off how the defense reacts to it. You have 5-step drops that give those opportunities too. So, I think it's like anything.
Just like anything.
I've always started the passing game with protection first. That's the way I learned it. That's the way I believe in it.
You liar!
And your protection schemes have to fit the footwork of the quarterback. It's like anything in the game of football.
Just like anything, baby.
Our ROI has always been on the footwork of the quarterback, the decision-making process, and building that in. So the protection system is very important. And to really get what I refer to as green grass throws and pushing the ball down the field, vertical shots and shots are not, to me, those are shots. Pushing the ball down the field is getting the ball thrown 18 to 20 yards where guys can catch and run. And with that, there's protection, certain protections you need to use and so forth. But that's why you game plan. That's why you go through the matchups, and everything factors week to week. Who's playing, injuries, all that stuff plays into it. So, but yeah, definitely, I think if the opportunities they come and challenge us the way I think they're going to, we may have some more opportunities to go down the field.
On the note of protection, Tyler Guyton coming back, but Awesome had a good game the other day. How do you balance that?
Keep Awesome in there, baby.
Healthy competition's always good. Chuma's coming back today too.
Liar!
So, just to see the 4 tackles get out there and compete, I think it'll be really good for us.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How do you get backup quarterbacks into a rhythm, especially, as you said, this stretch where you have an extra day, then a short day, then you have Thanksgiving?
I mean, but you're talking about Cooper now as a starter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, no, I just think like anything. I mean, he's
Just like anything,
got a
baby.
bank, an investment, an account that's full of opportunities that he's had here. Certain throws he feels better about the certain guys, and I mean, you look at all those things when you put together a game plan. So,
Oh, really?
and that's really the process that I've always used since 2000 is, I'll sit down with the quarterback and we'll have a discussion on the first 15 throws, 15 plays of the game.
Oh,
And
really?
I think it's very important for the quarterback to have input in it. And what you learn is if you two are really pretty far off, not on the same page, then you probably didn't spend enough time together during the week, because we're watching the same tapes, we're in the same meetings, we're talking about the same things, we're looking at the same intangibles that make a play successful. You know the same variables of what the opponent's trying to put in front of you. So just trusting that process and getting him off to a strong start is always my focus. I always want
Oh, really? A strong start?
that goes back to the way I learned it.
To year 2 or 3 to get used to the quirkiness of the Cowboys schedule in comparison to when you was in Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, the first year in the pandemic,
That's
I really
a
felt that 21
non-substant question there, man. Come on, man. Get to the substance.
I didn't think we did a good job. I didn't do a good enough job with the scheduling for recovery and so forth, because just not only it's more the the flights when you're coming back in get back at 4 in the morning, frequently. So and our travel's not terrible, so I mean it's obviously we leave at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock based off where we're going. But yeah, I was spoiled the last place I was at. Everything was a 50-minute flight, so I mean be home for dinner. So but but the late the national TV, but that's there's a good thing with that too. I mean it's that's people want to see you play, and
Just like
in
anything.
prime time, it's great for your families and things like that. But you do have to factor in the scheduling, and I have since then. So I thought 21 was the year that I thought, hey, I got to do more from a scheduling standpoint, and I think we do a good job with it now.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. I know you have to spend more time studying Houston defense than offense, but as a quarterback guy, CJ Stroud, great start to his career. He's struggled a little bit lately. Are sophomore slumps inevitable? Is there anything you've seen that teams have done to kind of?
Well, I think it's really the respect that people have for him. I mean, I think just the way he came onto the scene, the first thing that jumped off to me was his arm talent, but really his ability to get the ball out in a tight quarters. I mean, there's throw after throw on a college tape, and I thought it really translated very well to the pro game, where you're seeing him getting hit and he's still snapping it off and getting it out with tremendous amount of velocity, holding it to the last possible second, recognizing the pressure. So, I mean, to see a young rookie quarterback make those type of pressure throws, I was very, very impressed with just a little I've seen him last year, and then you can see it carry over. But yeah, they're still putting up good numbers. Yeah, I wouldn't, I don't look at it that way. But he can make all the throws, good athlete, but just really has for a young quarterback, his composure in the pocket is very impressive.
Yeah.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, you talked about the importance of protection, kind of going off Skyler's question. So it's kind of known that their center, Houston, is the one IDing and making the protection calls over Stroud. How important is it for a quarterback to have that responsibility and IDing stuff and calling out the protection?
I mean, they really work hand in hand. I mean, one guy starts it, the other guy can finish it. So, I mean, it's just, there's philosophical beliefs and the mechanisms of how you start it, what you change, and that's really system by system. So their protection system is something that that I coached in at one time. So you do have an understanding of it, but there's a good way to do both. There's good ways to do both. If
I'm going to have to start going live earlier before this press conference.
The quarterback has the best seat in the house. So for him to do the final adjustment is.
Talk about your adjustments, man. How are we in this game?
Can take off any quarterback's plate. There's times where guys, could play a lot of football in this league that, didn't have to make a declaration. So when your center's, declaring it right, and then you got the whole communication battle now, because the communication battle, since they mic the center and the guard, the center and the guards and the TV and so forth. So there's a whole nother game of mannerisms and things that goes on at the line of scrimmage. So once again, that's more responsibility for the quarterback and center. So those things really do work hand in hand.
Patrick.
Hey, Mike. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com.
There you go,
Questions,
Pat.
both centered on the receiving core. Can you talk about just how difficult it's been, the loss of Brandon Cooks to IR, and first of all, where he is in the process as far as his practice window?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Brandon's missed. He's getting close. There's a communication from the training room this morning in our meeting. But yeah, he's feeling better. I know he's chomping at the bit to get out there. Yeah, but he's one of our leaders, one of our team leaders, let alone in the wide receiver room. So he's definitely been missed.
And the follow-up for that is, as Mingo is getting work more in practice, can you talk about the challenge of ramping him up for his debut with you guys, alongside trying to ramp up Cooks for his return for you guys?
Great problems to have. I mean, just you can never have enough good players. But Mingo's doing good. He's he's so much more involved. It's good to have him from the beginning of the week. So he's putting in the extra time. We got an extra day of practice. So I see him making that transition.
Close out with Brad.
Brad Stan, 105.3 The Fan. Mike, as the play caller, is there a difference for you in getting Cooper into a rhythm from getting Dak into a rhythm?
Oh man, that's a waste of time.
Difference.
Man.
I think really the word. It probably what's the definition of difference? You talking about plays, or you talking about throw? You know what I mean? So I do. Yes, definitely. Every quarterback's different. There's.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
But where are your reps? It's not only just the quarterback, but who he's thrown to, and the formations and personnel groups that you want to be in to attack their defense. So yeah, I think it's there's always a difference from quarterback to quarterback.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, as we were interrupted by that, now let's start this show off the best way possible, man. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. I got to start it off the best way possible, man. So let's get this thing going. Appreciate everybody, man. We got a full show for you all. We're gonna talk about contentions and beyond. Come on, give me my theme music. Come on with it. They say stand tall or not at all, and Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. I got to get into the groove. Come on, stand tall or not at all, baby. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, man. Appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in. So that was Mike McCarthy's presser for today. Basically, we didn't get nothing out of it. Chuma Edoga, according to reports, he started his 21-day window. And trust and believe, ain't nobody waiting around to see Chuma Edoga, right? And on top of that, Awesome Richards is a guy that Big Nate Newton banged on the table and said he should be the starter at left tackle for the foreseeable year. But they're going to usher out Tyler Guyton, for what I'm hearing, back out there on the field. Now, here's the problem, though, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go right here. I got to find it again now, But here's the problem. My guy, Brandon Laurie, he says Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele, we can talk about that, may have their hands full on Monday night against the Houston Texans. Now, Danielle Hunter, if you guys old enough to remember, he was the guy I was banging on the table, I was hitting everything saying, hey, we get him, it's going to help us out, as it relates to pass rush and beyond. But Danielle Hunter generated 62 pressures this season, the most through the first 10 weeks. the season in the past 7 seasons per NFL Pro. Here's a guy that averaged 13 to 15 sacks a season. So we're going to have our hands full. Let me say this again. We're going to have our hands full. Oh, my God, we're going to have our hands full. So, at the end of the day, hey, in the words of Cat Williams, come on, help me out.
Jesus, this is your humble servant, Lord. There's clearly been a miscommunication, Jesus.
It is.
Just saying this burden is a little bit too heavy.
It's a heavy burden. Lord.
Saying, Jesus, my cup runneth over, Lord, is what I'm saying. Thing is, I ain't even thirsty, Jesus. Not a little bit. You can take.
He can take all of the cups, man. And, yeah. And shout out to my guy from the Bahamas. I saw you in the chat, man. One love to you. Oh, and do me a huge favor as we warming up everything. Do me a huge, gigantic favor, y'all. I know you be watching. I know y'all have your oodles and noodles, your cup of coffee, and all of that good stuff. But what the report states is that y'all watch, but y'all don't hit the like button. If you can do that for your boy, I know we heading into no man's land with these Dallas Cowboys, but I got some solutions. Shout out to Double Move. Check out his YouTube and his TikTok because this is where the solution gonna come from. But before we get into this, hit the like button. Sharing is caring. I don't give a dog if it's a friend, a neighbor, or a foe. Just drop Law Nation video in their particular inbox, DM them, and say, hey, check out Law, man. Check him out, man. The Cowboys may be losing, but that beard look good, and the sunlight is coming through the studios. Should Law close his blinds, or should I keep it open? Y'all let me know. Will Greer over Pooper Rush? Oh, my gosh. All right, so I'm glad you brought that up, Flores. While the sunlight is in my eyes, I'm going to go with the Jerry Jones. I like it cascading, right? Getting all of the good vitamin D and all of the great stuff that God created for us, right? But makes my skin smooth, by the way. Will Greer, when he was out there in Oxnard, when we was there, he was the better quarterback, in my opinion. He had good feet. He had good ball placement. He had a stronger arm. The problem was he was one of those bastards, right? Even though Cooper Rush to a degree is 1-2, but it's a whole conversation. Here's what I got to say. The reason why the Cowboys didn't keep Will Greer is because of Cooper Rush game record. He's people at the time was like he was 4-1 or 5-1, and they were saying like, "Look, go with the guy who won you games." But we were like those who was out there at Oxnard. If you was there, everybody was like, "Hey, go with Will Greer." Sure, he's slinging that thing, he moving that thing. Pause if necessary, but he was doing his job, right? But, they cut him, and he's a good friend. He's a really good friend. All of these guys are good guys. They all hang out with each other, but he's a really good friend of Dak Prescott. And Dak even called, I believe, the plays for him or what have you. And they had similar, not same, but similar skill sets as it relates to evading and moving around and keeping the eyes down the field. But the Cowboys released him, and then that's when they picked up Trey Lance or what have you. And a lot of people were like, hey, that's weird, And even Dak Prescott said at that time, man, nothing seems to amaze me around here, right? But neither here nor there. I think that Will Greer will know the system. And on top of that, it's not like he's going to go out there and throw for 2 yards, right? It's not like he can't replicate that. Anybody can replicate that. Lola in the chat. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. She can throw at least 2 yards. Come on, baby. Superior King, appreciate you. Trey Lance run RPOs all day. Look, the Cowboys this season right here, we can pretty much put a bow on it, right? Put a nice little bow on it and then wrap that thing up and put it out the way, right? But what we need to do is look at things that we can have far as solutions. And when we start talking about solutions, we're looking at what player A can do versus player B can do. and it need to start now. Salvaging what we have left. Trey Lance runs RPO. Willie T says releasing Will Greer was crazy. It was a crazy mistake. Yeah. So what I'm saying here is get back to the basics. Trim the fat. Do what you need to do. But before we get into other details about this, let me pick at the Cowboys one more time. Let me pick at them if I can find this. All right, sources. This is from last night or what have you on a random Tuesday night. From a random Tuesday night, sources on NFL Fox, 49ers extended star Lenore, into a 5-year, $92 million contract. I'm paraphrasing. Did we hear the owner and son in them talking about the pie, slices of pies or ingredients that you got to put into a pie? It just randomly that all of a sudden you get breaking news that, hey, the San Francisco signed Lenore to a 5-year, $92 million contract. Not saying that I want to be like the 49ers, but I'm quite sure that they looking at this situation like, oh, wow, we got another player signed. But they got Bosa making quarterback money before y'all say, well, we paying Dak Prescott all of their money. Did y'all look at Bosa's contract? Did y'all look at Debo's contract? Did you look at Brandon Ayuk's contract? If you add those two together, it just pay attention to Kittle's contract, right? Come on, man. Look, it goes like this. You're going to pay your guys. You got to pay your guys. Ward got paid, right, over there. Oh, Fred Warner. Don't y'all know Fred Warner? He's not getting paid dog water. Everybody getting paid. And guess what? Newsflash. Christian McCaffrey got paid a bag too. Right, come on with it. On top of that, let me say this. Well, Lord, they don't have to pay their quarterback. Bull sugar. His contract is due, baby. So getting that dog money that he's getting, they are in conversations of paying that brother anywhere. The base starts off at $61 million. He want to get $1 million more than what Dak got for APY purposes. Yeah. So Twin, year before last, Twin, he was hitting me up like, yeah, man, Purdy better than Dak, 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 Purdy better than Dak. Man, Purdy ain't gonna get that damn money. Purdy ain't better than Dak. No, wait a minute, hold on, Twin. You just yelling out that Purdy better than Dak. Come on, man. So give him more money than Dak. Give him 65. Yeah. Oh, I left out Trent Williams. Woo! Got some coins. Yeah. Purdy is going to get more than Dak, Willie T. Yes, indeed. Because Purdy representations and representatives is going to say, according to the index funds here, he's undefeated against this guy, and on top of that, he took his team. They didn't win it, but they made it to the Super Bowl. Come on with it. So that's just what it's going to go. So he's going to get paid big money. With that being said, but don't y'all like the sunlight cascading in here? You know what I'm saying? It gives me a different dimensions here of law. Y'all can see the sunlight make the beard grow, baby. Come on with it. All right, so listening to this right here, we're going to tune in to one of my favorite writers and beat reporters and journalists and all of these things, Ed Warner.
Ed's been covering this league now for more than 30 years. Our
more than 30 years.
Cowboys insider. Morning, Ed.
Good morning. It certainly got my attention there with reference to Dion coming to Texas.
Yeah. Do you believe now? Do you finally believe?
Do I believe he's going to be the next coach of the Cowboys?
Believe in what?
I don't. Believe in what?
Oh, man.
I'm more
okay.
inclined to believe now than I am when he asked me the question a year and a half ago.
Let me know if the audio good.
You
Audio
don't
good?
think he's going to be the next coach of the Cowboys, though?
I don't. I don't
Okay.
think there's a big enough stage for Jerry and Dion, despite their mutual affection for one another.
Okay, we may have to circle back to that conversation at some point.
Plus, Dion just landed maybe the top quarterback in the nation, 5-star recruit, so he's going to be able to replace Shador if he stays.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I've always heard, and I've certainly had people from Colorado asking me about connecting the Cowboys' presumed coaching opening at the end of the season to Dion and his history with Jerry and the franchise here. But my sense has always been that if he was going to go to the NFL, it was going to be to coach whatever team Shador is playing for, that was his goal as it pertained to the NFL. And we all know that the Cowboys just signed Dak Prescott to a massive contract extension.
True. Not to continue this, but they will have a high draft pick. So I guess they could just load up at quarterback and figure all that out later. All right. Well, let's talk about what happened on Sunday.
All right, so let's talk about this, though. Coach Prime isn't entertaining the Dallas Cowboys chatter. According to the Score, appreciate them, he says, don't start that I love it where I am, And Prime in Dallas is a pipe dream, right? It's a wish. It's a Ray J. One wish type of movement, So I don't think that this would be a situation in scenario anyhow. But since we are, ran by a bunch of clowns, right? Clown Nation by Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. Boy, they got the makeup. They got all of the clown attributes. They just don't have the red nose and the paint. But you can literally look at this organization from the top. Now, granted, I would say this, though. Jerry Jones do some good things. But he also, in return, do a lot of bad things, right? That's what makes this the clown operation of the Cowboys. Because we see that if there are situations and scenarios on how to win, right, they do it the opposite way, right? So, for example, if I'm telling you I want an apple pie, these brothers bring you pecan. Like, no, I wanted an apple pie. They go bring you peaches, plums, strawberries. So it's one of those things whereas we seen what other teams do, but they say, hey, forget it. On this potato salad, trust and believe the raisins are really good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, try some. I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. We good. We don't like these damn raisins on the potato salad, but they try to make you eat it.
You saw the Quincy Carter Cowboys. You've seen 5-11, 1-15. Was that the worst offensive day you've ever seen for a Cowboys offense?
Wow. Well, Mike McCarthy said it was the worst offense he's ever seen as a head coach or an NFL assistant. I did cover the Tampa Bay Buccaneers one year in 1990. It was right before they hired Sam Weiss, so Richard Williamson was the head coach. I know you've never heard of him.
I don't think I have.
But it was post Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny!
And Jeff Carlson was the starting quarterback there one year, and I saw him throw 3 interceptions on a single possession. 2 of them were negated by penalties, but he was determined to throw an interception on that possession, and damned if he didn't pull it off. So, as far as the Cowboys go, yeah, I would have to say that's about as bad a performance as I can ever remember, except for maybe Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman's very first game in New Orleans when they lost 28-0. And what I remember from that game was Jimmy fuming as he came off the field, being heckled by Saints fans, one of whom finally got his attention as he went into the tunnel and he stopped and he looked up, and the guy says to him, It's a little different when both teams are getting paid, isn't it, Jimmy?
Oh
my gosh, boy.
Just steam pouring out of his ears. So,
oh yeah, Aaron Glenn will be pretty good. Dion is making $5.7 million. He has a $10 million buyout this year. Jerry is going to pay. No. He's not gonna. He ain't gonna pay that. Matter of fact, shout out to my guy Action. He sent me this. We'll get to some solution talk, but right now we having fun. Right now we having fun, man. Put FUN in the chat, man. We having a little fun right now. And my guy was like, "Law, you should be the next coach, man." If I'm the next coach, I'm pointing to another coach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would give my whole salary up, and I'll just be the walk around guy, but it'll be really somebody else coaching, right? I'm like, Jimmy Johnson, look, you gonna get all of this money. I would do it for, I would just do it for my content creations on the side, holding the clipboard. But you gonna be coaching, and I'm just gonna be acting as if I'm the coach, if that's the situation and scenario. All right, so my guy Action Powell sent me this, and or in the words of Jerry Jones, he sent me this. He sent me. So let me pull this up. Who remember Carrie Champion? She got a unique story that's pertaining Jerry Jones. And I told y'all, I was just making assumptions about this, with the raisins on the potato salad, right? But, this dude paid great dividends into what I'm saying, because he's like that. He's going to force you. He's going to force you. Yeah. He's going to force you to do these things, man. Come on with it. D. Cal says he put the F in fun. He put the FU in fun. Yeah. Come on with it. I love it. Come on with it. That's my old said. But who remember Carrie Champion? And who remember Rodney Pete's wife? I forgot her name. But I think it's Holly or something like that. And I got the video finna load up right now.
True story. I went to Mr. Child in LA and I was meeting Holly Robinson Pete there.
Yeah, Holly.
Her husband used to play for the Cowboys at one point. Jerry Jones was sitting and she walked up to him and said, "Hi, Mr. Jones." And he was with his wife and he said, "Would you ladies like to join me and my wife for dinner?" And he was like, "It's a mandatory." And we tried to say no and we couldn't say no because of his charm. And he was like, "You ladies have to try these duck tacos. It's the best thing ever. I came all the way from Dallas just to have these duck tacos." Now, mind you, Jerry was like, "I'm going to make it for you ladies though, because it has to be made the way that I make it." Jerry then proceeds to take his fingers, grab the taco meat, put the taco meat inside of the shell, because that's how you have to make it. But normally people would grab a fork, a spoon. He grabs them. He's like, ladies, you're gonna licking his fingers. Ladies, you're gonna love it. Rolls up the taco and he hands it to me, and I look at it, and the whole world stopped. This man literally just licked his fingers and made this taco. Not once, not twice, several times. And we were looking at each other like, what do we do? When I tell you I took a bite of this taco with my eyes open, afraid, like I'm gonna be sick, I don't know what I'm gonna get. And Jerry says, "It's good, huh?" She looks at me and without fail, she goes, "Yum, right?" I literally took a bite of that taco. Against my will.
Ain't no way.
Something about his charm and who he is and how he presents and how he takes over the whole room and how he feels larger than life and how everything feels okay once he's talking.
Ain't no way, dog. You getting raw dog, naked hand, taco meat. No way. Come on, Carrie Champion. I don't care if he's a trillionaire. Come on, baby. Try these tacos, baby. And I love tacos, boy. I love some tacos, man. That's power. So
I like when you like this, Dad. I like when you scrambling and scraping.
Yeah. You can't be scrambling and scraping over there, man. Come on, man. They were looking at it like, yeah, this taco good, huh? Yeah. So Jerry, she talking about charm. Look, how much charm is that? How much charm is that, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, man. Yeah. And try some, y'all. Get the fingertips, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the crud that I got under my fingernails is really good, you know? Come on with it, Rick. Oh, my God.
But what is your counter? What is your damn count?
Jerry, man, come on, man. How you gonna force feed them girls them tacos, though, man? Oh, my gosh, man. See, I told you we having a little fun here, man. Let's play the rest of this Ed Warner.
The fact that we're going back to 1 in 15 for comparison
my
purposes,
gosh,
I think
man.
gives you a real sense of just how bad this football has been, especially when they played at AT&T Stadium, and primarily because they play the best competition at AT&T Stadium as opposed to being on the road.
Hey, I would have been a pescatarian that day. I'm like, hey, Jerry, I'm pescatarian. But then he would have grabbed the fish with his hands. Ooh, yes.
Yeah, going into the season, we thought the Cowboys were at least well-armed at backup quarterback. Cooper Rush had this 5-1 record or 6-1 record, whatever, as a fill-in, and he looked so bad on Sunday. Did we overrate Cooper Rush as a backup quarterback, or is it just such a mess around him that nobody would look good?
I think it's some of both of those things. I mean, obviously he has physical limitations. He doesn't have a great NFL arm. But one of the things the Cowboys told us was that this is a guy with a very calm demeanor who's, well aware of what his limitations are athletically as a quarterback. And I think they're still clinging to not only his, recent history as a successful backup quarterback when he's been needed here as recently as 2 years ago, but how well he played in the second half against Atlanta after Dak was hurt. That was the quarterback I think they expected to get the other day. He looked far more capable in the Atlanta game when he wasn't necessarily prepared to start.
Right.
Than he did, after the coach is investing a full week of having him ready for the Eagles. Now, the Eagles have been playing, really great. They're the only team in the NFL ranked in the top 6 on offense and defense.
Hey, pause. Hey, Charles, you're right, man. She should have saved that storyline. I'd have made it up like, I'd have kept that one to herself. Yeah, she should have confessed that one. But this shows you the power of the influences, of Jerry Jones. Keep in mind, those ladies not under his payroll. So, Mike McCarthy, you're going to throw the ball, right? I want to see you throw it about 40, 50 times tonight, right? Mike McCarthy, you want Zeke, right? You want Zeke. You're going to have Zeke. Mike McCarthy. Why I don't see Hooker out there? You're going to put the Hooker out there, right? You're going to keep Dono and Hooker out there, right? The influences, man. Powerful.
And there's only 2 games this year where a team has been held to 50 or fewer passing yards, and both of those came against the Eagles' defense. One was by the Giants, and one, by the Cowboys the other day. But yeah, there was no excuse for how pathetically bad he played in that game, and certainly he was affected by the lack of playmakers around him, just as Dak Prescott has been. But it's more extreme and more unsightly when the quarterback is less talented.
I don't want to make too big a deal about this because we talked about it a lot yesterday, and in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean that much. And yet, when you describe Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, the sunlight controversy at AT&T Stadium, it means everything, really, because it illustrates what's wrong with him and what's wrong with this franchise. Have you seen him dig in on anything goofier than this since 1989? Isn't this the dumbest thing ever?
Another situation we're comparing to 1989.
Yeah, we're going way back again.
I don't know. He's a very obstinate and intractable person on certain things. I guess he assumes or takes this personally in a way that it's not really intended to be.
Right.
As if it's like, you built this football palace that's your pride and joy, and you foolishly built it the wrong direction, the thing to me is like his explanation after the game. He was so agitated about it before anyone in the media even asked him.
Yeah.
It was, I concluded that he was sitting in his suite and watching his team deteriorate, and at the same time, they must have been making a lot of it on the broadcast, whether it was Brad Sham or it was Jim Nance, and Jerry was, infuriated by that criticism.
I got Jerry Jones at my front door. Hold on.
When he's discussing it, he talks about how, it's the same for both teams, and the coaches know when they flip the coin. It's absurd. I listened out there yesterday to Brian Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy talk about that they spend part of their Friday game management plan when they have a home game this time of year, talking about plotting spaces on the turf, on the field, where they have to avoid because the sun might be a factor. This is so easily eliminated. And the receiver you just paid $35 million a year to told you he couldn't see what should have been a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So why not solve the problem? It's easy. Jerry could probably sell it to Pella Windows. He wouldn't have to pay.
Right.
He could find a sponsor that would pay him to solve the problem.
That is unbelievable that the coaches have to waste any of their time, their weekly game plan, coming up with plays to combat the sun.
You know what I envisioned when they were talking about that was I envisioned, remember when they went out to that first NFC Championship game under Jimmy Johnson, 1992, out in Candlestick, and the turf was wet, and Jimmy went out and diagrammed the whole field, had the game operations people diagram the whole field so they could know where the footing was good and where it wasn't, what routes they could run, and what their expectations for footing should be in all areas of that field. It was kind of like that.
Wow.
And the Cowboys coaches, they're not going to say anything about this, but they felt like one of the reasons the Eagles handled it better than they did the other day was because Kellen Moore played in the stadium. He was a quarterback for the Cowboys. He played there. He knew what to expect from that point of view, and he probably took it into consideration when he was calling plays.
Amazing. It's just amazing that we're even talking about this.
It's so easy to, isn't the whole reason you build a dome stadium to eliminate the outside elements?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, why can't we eliminate this one?
Yeah. As we said yesterday, just one of your biggest responsibilities as owner, make sure your home stadium is playable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard. What did you
can solve the problem. You can show people you're more willing to be open-minded about issues, and you can make money. Like, what's not to love?
Right. That's perfect. What did you take of Micah's comments?
All right, so I want to talk about this right here. He said two pivotal things. Well, I'm really refilling my coffee up. One being Jimmy Johnson with the diagram, right? Or going over the soft spots on the field. Jimmy, he hate losing more than he love winning. Jimmy was a great preparer. He was a great motivator and a mental person, right? Mentally, as it relates to good fit for the Cowboys, because he wanted to get any advantage possible. And that's why, Bill Belichick, he mentored Bill Belichick to that degree. Why, Law? Why? Well, because Bill Belichick the same way. Try to find anything and everything. Looking at Tapegate, who started Tapegate, you know what I mean? Oh, the deflated footballs and stuff like that, trying to get the competitive edge in anything possible. There's people right now that's in their particular sport or what they like to do, find a competitive edge, right? Trying to get anything and squeeze out anything possible. I don't see that out of Mike McCarthy, by the way. And on top of that, to add insight to what he said about Kellen Moore, it's a different thing when you absolutely played at the stadium plus coach at the stadium. Not saying that was a good fit for him to be able to mask around it or what have you. But 9 times out of 10, that's a competitive edge for him. Watch, if we are seeing that with the Eagles, right? Lo and behold, because, we got to understand that Kellen Moore ultimately trained and coached up Cooper Rush, right? So let's get that under control with our mindsets. So he knew the tendencies of him. He knew how to play against him. That's why he only averaged 2 yards. But wait in a couple weeks when we see the Washington team. Oh, my goodness, man. Competitive edge. Dan Quinn going to know the tendencies of Cooper Rush. And to the degree, he's going to know the tendencies of Trigger Trey or Will Greer or whoever you go out there and put out there on the field. And it's going to be brutal for us because those guys, I believe, plan a little bit ahead of, dare I say, Mike McCarthy. Now, Mike McCarthy, to someone in the chat, said, yeah, Law, you wanted Hooker. You wanted Hooker here. And trust me, I wanted to say something about this earlier before I left. That doesn't mean he's supposed to stay here. I wanted Adrian Peterson here. That doesn't mean that I want him here now. You know, I liked Michael Vick. You know, that doesn't mean that I want him now. Come on. Just because you want a player and they're here doesn't mean that they should stay. You know, come on. Let's be real with that. So, Joseph says she's related to Jerry's DNA now. Yeah, you're right. But let's listen to this. We got about 2 more minutes left on this this Ed Waters.
Did they spin out of control, or was the basis of them a poor attempt by him to support his teammates and his coach?
Yeah, well, Micah Parsons in his return certainly brought back the pass rush and the controversy. We know he's a content creator extraordinaire. He has his own podcast. And I was standing there when he answered Jory Epstein's question, which was very open-ended the way he did. He chose to make a reference to Mike McCarthy that he really didn't. Like, he could have made his point and left McCarthy out of it.
Yeah.
He could have just said, you know, the people I feel most sorry for in this organization as I look across the locker room is a guy like Zach Martin, you know, who's, you know, been here for so many years, and there's been so many players who have gone through or have had great careers who never got to play in a Super Bowl and hold the trophy. And those are the guys, you know, that I'm playing for and motivated by. He made a choice to mention Mike McCarthy, and even after he started with that, he came back to, you know, those guys put more into it, work harder than Mike McCarthy ever will. I was a little surprised yesterday during the press conferences that McCarthy did acknowledge he had a conversation with Micah about it, because at the same point the previous week he had not had a conversation about the issues with Ezekiel Elliott that led to disciplinary action and leaving him at home and making him inactive for the Atlanta game. But he did immediately address this concern with Micah Parsons. He said part of that was, you know, other players are going to be asked about it. You know, and Micah was on his podcast yesterday. Didn't have to wait till Wednesday to talk to the media in the locker room access. He spoke on his podcast yesterday and said it was not his intent to criticize Mike McCarthy. We do know he had a strong relationship with Dan Quinn, so is there some part of Micah that, you know, thinks, geez, we blew it last year. Why isn't my man Dan Quinn still there? Why isn't he the head coach? You know? So I don't know if that was part of it. I think it was a big mistake, obviously. How intentional it was and what purpose he, you know, wanted to serve with what he said, I'm not really sure. But I guess I would give Micah the benefit of the doubt here.
The thing is with Micah Parsons is, I'm going to say this again, he doesn't articulate himself well enough and on the fly enough better. He should do it better, I meant to say. So the media going to always twist it and they're going to get in front of it. But at times he brings out some good points, but you'll have with Micah Parsons, you will have to listen to him with the mindset of knowing to giving him the benefit of the doubt. You got to listen to him and say, hey, man, I get where he's coming from. But if you're listening to him like a journalist or somebody who's been in podcast spaces for a long time, then it's always gonna go that way, you know. And especially you can be like, man, what the hell is he talking about, right? You know what? Oh, he meant it in this particular fashion, right? So if I'm Micah Parsons, I'll go to, you know, some, you know, Toastmasters. I'll go to some, and Toastmasters really good. I would go to some mentor developmentship, you know what I'm saying, to get those words out in meanings and have bullet points and guidelines and stuff like that, and then play off of another host. You know, I think what he's doing is great, but sometimes he don't articulate himself well enough. Yeah, JT is not his nickname. You know what I'm saying? Wanye, y'all got to put Wanye Thomas. Too many JTs, Jalen Tolbert and everything. So Wanye is his name, not JT. Come on, y'all. Can't just be giving everybody nicknames. Yeah, so don't make excuses for Micah Law. No, I'm just saying. If he's going to be in this podcast space, like on the NFL level, he's elite. He's an elite NFL player, you know. But on a podcast conversational piece, he's down there somewhere. But he using his notoriety, his celebrity, and all of his fame to get all of the impressions and views. But he just don't articulate himself as well as you would see other podcasters, or dare I say people who speak for a living, is all I'm saying. And shout out to him, because I like the young lion. He got a long ways to go, you know. But keep that crybaby. Come on, man. Y'all know y'all like Parsons. Come on. In this game, this past game, he still had 2 sacks. A forced fumble, 5 pressures. You can't sneeze at that. That's good. That's good stuff for him. Yeah, y'all all tired of hearing Mike McCarthy. Let me go back to this, okay? Let's talk about the solutions, and let's get things going in the best way possible with this, because a lot of people came here like, Law, what are the solutions? How can we get back into contentions, right? How can we get back into good stuff? You know, Law, Zimmer will be the head coach. Well, Lord, come on, man. We ain't ready for that now. Come on, baby. All right, let's get this going. All right, so Double Move came up with some solutions on how the Cowboys can get back to good things. And I will try to, once this post is over with, send you guys to Double Move's YouTube page, because I think he don't do a good job at all. He does a great job on his visual work and all of his narrating. So let me put Double Move in the information box log here, so that you guys can find and follow his page, because he's very good at this, man. And hold on, bear with me. I'm gonna share his page so that you guys can digest all of this great content that he provides to the nation. And this is all the solutions, man. Hey, Aaron, don't beat me up. Don't nail me to the cross. No solution. Jerry is the problem. Well, every now and again, you know, a trash can get a steak, right? So let me play this right here.
The Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window is actually about to open up again. With 3 simple moves after this season, the Cowboys could go into 2025 free agency with nearly $100 million in cap space. All they have to do is restructure Dak Prescott's contract, freeing up nearly $40 million for the 2025 cap. Then they can restructure CeeDee Lamb, which frees up nearly $40 million as well. And then they can designate Terrence Steele as a post-June 1 cut, which saves over $12 million. With those 3 simple moves, Dallas has plenty of money to sign Micah Parsons and make moves during free agency to get this roster back in order for a new coach. It was so they could do more during the bulk of CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott's contracts, while also letting Mike McCarthy play out the final year of his deal and starting fresh. Not to mention, Dallas has 10 draft picks to use in 2025. Whether they look to make a trade or make all 10 of those picks, that's a ton of draft capital for any team. To me, this seems like a really good plan, and if they pull it off, their Super Bowl window opens right back up.
All right, so I remember, I don't want to hear nothing about super and bowl. We can talk about super forks. We can talk about super plates. We can talk about a super napkin, you know, but not Super Bowl with the Cowboys. But that's a very good solution right there. And here's what I would do with Tyler Guyton. I don't know if Terrence Steele will ever recover and get back to the goodness and graces of what he should be, right? You can make that post-June 1 cut, get you $12 million, keep Awesome at left tackle, and kick Tyler Guyton at right tackle, which what he played in college. You'll do away with that. You'll say, hey, let's just focus somewhere else because, and then I get it. Maybe in the second or third round, you can draft another guard or something like that. But at the same time, we know for sure that Zach Martin may be gone, right? Somebody said he should be gone, right? TJ, you can insert him in and start getting those growing pains. Like, once we are mathematically out of this playoff situation, that should be the calling card. Like, hey, Zach Martin, early vacation, man. We got Cabo for you. We got, Jamaica, where you want to go, man. Barbados, we got all of that stuff for you, bro. All paid vacation time for your mind. And we going to insert TJ, in that spot. And that way we can get things going. Yeah. Action Power says Guyton at right tackle should have been the play all the way, right? Because if you guys think that Terrence Steele is just having like a bad year, or it's just not bad, it's just a complete badness for all of the offensive linemen, and it's wrong for us to just point him out, then put TS in the chat, meaning that you would love for Terrence Steele to be back here next year. You would love for him to continue to go through this, and this could just be a year and a half of bad Terrence Steele, because it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Taco guys, all these tacos, man. I'm gonna give me some tacos today, man. I'm going. Look, when y'all say, "Law, what you ate today?" I'm gonna find somebody to make me some good tacos. Jerry, put some damn gloves on, though. Yeah. Old boy says B2A cut TS. Okay, cut Terrence Steele. Terrence suck. Yeah. Heck no. So he just having a bad year. Still stinks. Okay. Still has to go. This is Paul. F. No. He got to go. Cut him. Oh, cut. Nah. King Early. You might be a informant, man. You the ops, man. You talking about cutting Micah. No, you the informant, man. Get out of here. Trim the fat. Because we know the untouchables. Dak ain't going nowhere. His contract is for 2032. And if we want to do anything for next season, this kid, Double Move, is brilliant. He done cleared up $100 million. Plus, we got 24 just sitting in reserve. That's $124 million, man, that he just gave some good homework to. Now, I don't know, and I do know. But I'm like Aaron, like he said that, hey, the problem still is Jerry, right? God dog. But here's the thing, though. That is a solution. And when we open up the phone lines, I want to know from y'all what can be the other alternative, because Double Move, he did his homework. And that, look, it was so good for those who just not tuning in. I'm going to play it one more time, and then we'll open up the phone lines for your mind. We're going to play it one more time because it was good. That boy did his homework.
The Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window is actually about to open up again. With 3 simple moves after this season, the Cowboys could go into 2025 free agency with nearly $100 million in cap space. All they have to do is restructure Dak Prescott's contract, freeing up nearly $40 million for the 2025 cap. Then they can restructure CeeDee Lamb, which frees up nearly $40 million as well. And then they can designate Terrence Steele as a post-June 1 cut, which saves over $12 million. With those 3 simple moves, Dallas has plenty of money to sign Micah Parsons and make moves during free agency to get this roster back in order for a new coach. It was so they could do more during the bulk of CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott's contracts, while also letting Mike McCarthy play out the final year of his deal and starting fresh. Not to mention, Dallas has 10 draft picks to use in 2025. Whether they look to make a trade or make all 10 of those picks, that's a ton of draft capital for any team. To me, this seems like a really good plan, and if they pull it off, their Super Bowl window opens right back up.
Man, that boy good. Double Move good. You have 5 million subscribers, man. Here's what I can say here. Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me out. And shout out to you, Tony Brown, for your support here. Here's what I'm going at with this. For those who want to get rid of Parsons, put in the chat, no Micah Parsons. So NMP, no Micah Parsons. I'm not getting rid of one of my better assets. And I know that there's not another team that's going to be foolish to give the Cowboys what Minnesota did almost over 35 years ago. They're not finna do that. Your best bet will be is to see who's going to be your new coach and get in front of this and say, hey, Parsons, we like you, we love you, but these are the restrictions. These are the boundaries. If you want to be successful in life, you got to establish boundaries. Only a thief don't like boundaries, right? People who got success and people who obtained wealth, they got boundaries. For example, if you are living in a multi-million-dollar estate, you just can't just drive up in there. It got boundaries. It got a guard up front. It got a guard in the back, and you got to get buzzed in. You can't just be driving through there and seeing who house you're going to egg, right? Because it's boundaries. Banks got boundaries, right? Rich folks got boundaries. But the lower you are on the totem pole, there's less boundaries, less responsibilities. Anybody can walk into your house, right, without you even noticing. Just walk right through the front door, no boundaries. Nobody to check you at the front desk. So what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, whoever may be the new head coach, what he got to go in, and boundaries, woo, boy, let me tell y'all something about boundaries. Some of y'all probably need to establish that in your life. You know, boundaries also is respect, and it's a form of discipline, right? Some people have these things right here that's right here watching. Don't show up in my house without calling me first. Yeah. Don't show up at my house without calling me first. I got a set of boundaries. I may be doing something. We may be having a whole private conversation. We may be doing our own thing. But you just can't just show up. Who that is at my front door? Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, did they call? Well, they going to be out there. Mm-hmm. Hey, who that is at the front door? Yeah, man, it's your boy. Like, nope. We got boundaries. It's some rules around here and regulation, law, and then there's order. So you're going to have to call before you come over here. I may not want it, guests, right? I might want it to be in the confines of my own home, sitting up, eating my oodles and noodles, you know, in my birthday suit with my feet up on the couch, you know. I may not want to be entertained. People set boundaries for a reason. And the Cowboys, Rico says yes, you know, not the one with the extensions and you can take them out and put them back in. But Rico Jones says yes, that's what I do, Law. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Pamela, you know, that's what I'm saying. Cowboys don't have boundaries. Heart, no eyes of the tiger. They need a coach with a set of cojones, right? Yeah, to establish that. And when they allowed that young lion to roam free, and now it's time for him. I don't know if you can do a lion like that, but you can do some dogs. Like, get him on here. Come here, boy. Come on here. Yeah. So, hey, all I'm saying is they allowed, look, Mike McCarthy, Daniel Quinn, and when he was here, they allowed the lion to roam free. But now, that new coach, here, boy, come on here. Shoot. You ain't listen. Get over here. Oh, Peter, y'all ain't watching the. Get over here, boy. So after you done set them boundaries, after you done qualified and solidified them boundaries, you don't have to hit it no more. Yeah, all you had to do is just show it to them. Yeah, y'all let me know if I'm telling the truth. Yeah, all you had to do now is show them this, and that dog go sit right here. That dog will sit still, and then you say, now it's time for you to eat. Yeah. Now it's time for you to attack. Yeah. Now it's time for you to sit, go in the corner, you know. But all you had to do once you set them, if you never said it, this don't mean nothing to them, you know. This don't mean nothing to them. And I ain't just talking about Parsons, by the way. I'm talking about all of the players that's here on the Cowboys. Come on with it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody calling Peter right now on law like, hey, Peter. Yeah, we got him. Yeah, he got a beard. Yeah, he's somewhere in Dallas. Yeah, he hit dogs on the nose. Yeah, he put that dog nose to the urine. Yeah, he confessed all that on Law Nation Sport. Yeah, he punishing that dog. Yeah, yo. Yeah, so, you know, somebody got their dog right now, tearing up all of their stuff in their crib, ate up the shoes, the controller, then ate up the damn trash, and they just go back inside and say, oh, we just need to give the dog a kiss and a hug. Oh, my goodness, let the dog be in the bed this time, even though the dog went to bed. But then you got the owner like, come here, boy. But neither here nor there. Let's go into this right here. If you at the job and your boss telling you about boundaries and they saying you come here and they rolling up a piece of paper and they hit you, who you need to call, because that's a personal injury. And if anybody's doing that to you while you at the job, you need to do this.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance company.
Yeah, call Frenkel first. 214 or 817 and all of the threes. Yeah, so they hit you on your nose, you got in your car, you all depressed, you crying, and then somebody run into you. Yeah, one call, that's all. That's Frenkel and Frenkel, personal injury lawyer. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a chance to call, go to Frenkel.com, you know. Yes, indeed. Come on, FrenkelFirm.com. Go check them out, and they will be able to help you out. FrenkelFirm.com. Let's go, baby. My number, 657-390-7391 is the hotline for your mind, the Frenkel hotline. Come on, hit me up. Let me know, can this all be a solution? Because at this point, I don't want to talk draft right now. I'm just talking solutions. Yeah, you will talk draft in 2-3 weeks. See how everything roll out that way. You know, come on. Let's go, baby. The first one we got on the line is from the 409 Big Bird. You're live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Law? How you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing good.
Hey, man, I had something to run by you because it's something I thought about before. So the Cowboys signed Diggs in camp, correct?
They did.
Then with CD and Dak, those are last-minute signings. But until then, so let me give you this, what I kind of thought about, a little bit conspiracy theory here. I think the Cowboys don't sign those guys because they don't want money available. So if you sign those guys, say in April and May, and now you got $28 million available,
right?
And you're still not doing that via free agency,
right?
Then people will be asking questions like, dude, you got $30 million available. Y'all not going to make no moves? But as long as they have these contracts out there, people are talking about the contract. They're not talking about, well, we got to save money to sign Dak. We got to save money to sign CD. We can't go get nobody.
Yeah.
But if they sign him early, then the conversation would change over until, why aren't you signing anyone?
Right. It'll force your hand. It'll force your hand on doing things that you don't want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and so people be like, the Joneses is waiting to get up publicity. The Cowboys already get enough publicity,
Yeah.
man. They the most talked about 3-6 team in the history of the nation. But to me, if you really think about it, man, those guys hold off to sign that so they won't have pressure from the public or from the media to sign anyone else. Just think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia has Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith under contract.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts is $250 million. Devontae is $96 million over 3 years. 75 over 3 years, and A.J. is 96 over 3 years.
Yeah.
They all only count $33.5 million against the cap this year, which
Right.
means that they're not prohibiting you from going to get anybody else. They
Mhm.
structured their contracts to whereas, we're paying them a lot of money, but we're going to put it down the line, and we'll worry about that later on because we're trying to win now.
Now,
so we
yeah.
only want these things to count $33 million against the cap now, so we can go get other players.
Man.
Just think of the Cowboys at the start of this signed Dak, and he cost $17 million against the cap. And then sign CD, and he costs like $15 million against the cap. That's $32 million. That's not what they're counting now. And now that loosens you up to go get other players. The Cowboys don't do it that way, man. And I think really they just not interested in the free agency market, and they don't even want the pressure of that. And that's why I think they sign guys late, just to have that excuse for not going signing premium free agents. And I'll tell everybody this: the Cowboys have not signed a top 20 free agent since 2012 with Brandon Carr. I always say that. And that has to be said, man. And that's all I wanted to tell you, just throw that out there. Because I do hear what the guy was saying. The Cowboys don't really operate that way because they don't want to free up a whole bunch of cap space.
Yeah, they don't want to. And you speak in very good volumes of that because they got a philosophy that they want to win it their way. And Stephen Jones, I think this is what is really going on. Just listening to like what David Irvin said when he talked to my guy Scott, and talking to David Irvin on the side as well, is that they want to win it how they want to. And the salary cap, all of that stuff, you can always manipulate it, right? There's the whole salary cap hell thing is not a real one. It's not one. It was real when the NFL wasn't making the amount of money that they was making in the early 2000s and 2001 and 2 when we was there in that spot. But now if you look at it, it's really not one because you can always manipulate it. You can always, the voidable years is like a cheat code. Think about this. If you had a car note, right? And it's a 5-year car note and then or a 7-year car note. What if that car note, people say, well, you got 4 voidable years at the end of it where you can slide stuff around. You know what I mean? It's a win-win situation. Yeah.
I'll add that on to it.
Go ahead.
If they tell you, hey, man, look, in your 6th and 7th year on your job, you're going to be making twice as much as you make now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can move that back there. You're going to really be able to afford it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they don't, because this cap ain't doing nothing going up, man.
Yeah.
That's why Philadelphia does that.
Right.
Because they're saying, okay, what's the cap now? Okay, so we're going to push this off till, 2030. And then people say, oh, yeah, you're going to have dead money. No, the cap going to double by then. This money it'll pale in comparison, man.
Yeah.
And one thing that you're right upon, I think what it is it's a certain type of way the Cowboys want to win. They're trying to fit into that narrow place that they put themselves in because really, man, look at it. They don't like guys, if they didn't draft and develop them, they don't like them, man. And what I mean by that is finding them, they have to be the one that find them. That's why they go to undrafted free agency. That's why they go to the draft. And that's why they go to the USL. Why? Because nobody has touched these guys before. They don't want guys that have been touched by another organization before.
Yeah.
Think about it. Those guys have not been on our team. That's why they try to go the route of pretty much their guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just can't win that way now, man. And they're trying their hardest. What I like is that the public, the media, the content creators aren't letting them get away with it anymore. Right. Now they're starting to call them out on it, call the Joneses out on it, and you have to do that because they're master manipulators as far as getting pressure off them and putting it somewhere else, man. And so I'm just glad that you doing it. I see you doing it a lot, man, and I definitely appreciate that because it's so easy to go to the players. It's so easy to go to the scheme, But until we get this thing right up top, man,
Right.
and can we get it right? Yeah. When I say Deion Sanders as a coach,
Yeah.
I'm not even a big Deion fan, man.
Right.
But we need somebody with enough arrogance, you know what I'm saying, to come in and be like, no, you ain't doing me like that.
Right.
And if you do, I'm letting everybody know about this. This ain't gonna be on me. It's gonna be you've had too many people say, I just suck it up. They are paying me. Now,
Yeah.
Deion cares about his
Mhm.
reputation, and
Mhm.
he also cares about winning, man. That dude's a winner, and he don't want to be embarrassed out here. So if you're gonna do something like, hey, we need to give
Yeah.
Carson, we need to give Carson some run, man. He's a dude. No, that dude killing us out there.
He killing
I'm not
us,
putting
man.
him out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to win games, man. You ain't gonna have me out here looking bad. And
Man.
people was talking about, I heard somebody saying it'll be a lot of conflict. So what?
So
We
what?
need conflict.
Yeah.
We've been having get along coaches for the last 28 years, man. Only one with the exception of Bill Parcells. That has gotten us nowhere.
Man, B-Bird, man, you killing it, man. I appreciate you for calling in, bro.
All right, Dan. I appreciate you, brother.
Good call from a man. Shoot, the B-Bird, man, is on it. And I would say this, though. Yeah, we need somebody with arrogance. We need somebody that can stand on business, man. We don't need no more pushovers. We need to have some bite somewhere to show that the Jones like, look, I get your ideal. Yeah, you think highly of that, but this is how I'm running it, man. I'm the coach. What you want me to do here, man? I'm so tired of this docile mindset, man. It just kills me, man, when we see Mike McCarthy gets up there and say just like anything. It kills me to see that we continually to usher out the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If I was a Martian or an alien from the other side of the ice wall, you know, coming out of the deep seas or what have you, and I was placed here, and I was watching this team versus this team 10 years ago, I would say, man, they run by the same coach. We have the exact same, the go along, get along gang, you know, and that's most the defeative mindset. So I got, you know, tomorrow we got a guest that's going to be on the show that he went up against Jerry Jones, right? Cowboys and Chill is going to be Q Week edition, Thursday night. You know, come on out to my guy Kevin Smith restaurant, and we're going to have a great time. It's going to be me. It's going to be Clarence. Is going to have Jay Ratliff. You know what I'm saying? Newey Scruggs is going to be in the building. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about this because at the end of the day, we're looking for results. We're looking for someone who's willing to say, all right, yeah, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down my way. If you're gonna fire me, fire me. When are we gonna get those type of guys? But the kind of guys that we have here is no different from what Kerry Champion said. Since we got over 300 people here watching now, and y'all didn't get a chance to hear this storyline one more time. We're going to play the Kerry Champion. Yeah, these are the kind of caliber of coaches we got here.
True story. I went to Mr. Chow in LA and I was meeting Holly Robinson Pete there, and her husband used to play for the Cowboys at one point. Jerry Jones was sitting and she walked up to him and said, "Hi, Mr. Jones." And he was with his wife and he said, "Would you ladies like to join me and my wife for dinner?" And he was like, "It's a mandatory." And we tried to say no and we couldn't say no because of his strong. And he was like, you ladies have to try these duck tacos.
Bull
It's
sugar.
the best thing ever. I came all the way from Dallas just to have these duck tacos. Now, mind you, Jerry was like, "I'm going to make it for you ladies though, because it has to be made the way that I make it." Jerry then proceeds to take his fingers, grab the taco meat, put the taco meat inside of the shell, because that's how you have to make it. But normally people would grab a fork,
Tongs,
a spoon. He grabs them. He's like, ladies, you're gonna licking his fingers. Ladies, you're gonna love it. Rolls up the taco and he hands it to me, and I look at it, and the whole world stopped. This man literally just licked his fingers and made this taco. Not once, not twice, several times. We are looking at each other like, what do we do? When I tell you I took a bite of this taco with my eyes open, afraid like I'm going to be sick, I don't know what I'm going to get. And Jerry says, "It's good, huh?" She looks at me and without fail, she goes, "Yum." Right?
Yum.
I literally took a bite of that taco against my will. but it was something about his charm and who he is and how he presents and how he takes over the whole room and how he feels larger than life and how everything feels okay once he's talking.
Man, girl, you must be out your mind. Shoot. The naked head, man, duck taco. I never had duck tacos. Y'all let me know how that tastes. But I ain't finna get one that's rolled up by Jerry. And was it hard taco shells or the soft taco shells? Which ones do y'all eat it off of, man? 'Cause, let me know if y'all had some duck before, man. It's very gamey in certain restaurants, so I want to know how that tastes, man, But I got Uncle Charles, man, for the 205. You're live. Talk to me.
What's up, Lord?
Not much.
How y'all doing, Cowboy Nation brothers and sisters? Let me tell you something, man. I said to myself, why is this team in a predicament like the Eagles?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I said, everybody got very, very emotional. It ain't like when you had your first child. It ain't like when you seen your son or your daughter graduate.
Yeah.
And you knew that feeling. It was a great feeling.
Uh-huh.
But this feeling is something different. Why is Jerry doing what he's doing? Is he turning his team into a media team like Al Davis did? Because we all know Al Davis never won another Super Bowl after he turned his team into a media team. Then I said, I said, why is he doing this? And then I thought about it. Moses had just died. He was lame, took his last breath.
Yeah.
And guess who showed up? Luke. He showed up. And then God said, wait a minute. David, go get Moses. Go get him. And he swooped down there with his sword. He had Moses in his arm, and Lucifer was right behind him. He had to drop Moses' body to deal with him. He fought him with a furious wrath. And he fought him until Satan hit the ground. And he went back down and he took Moses on up. On up into heaven.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yep.
So I said, after that, I figured it out. I said, no matter whether you're alive or you are dead or you're going through something, somebody is willing to mess with you. Somebody is.
You ain't lying.
This is what I'm talking about. Is he messing with our emotions? Is he messing with us? He knows how much we love our team.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows this. You got some people that their whole house is Dallas Cowboys. They ain't playing. Then, after that chapter, I turned that page. I went to the other page. I saw a white family in a certain part of Africa where the wild was. And the elder said, look, you need to be careful. It's a lot of wild elements around here, and you do not need to get out of the car.
Right.
And all of a sudden, one baboon showed up. Oh, look at the baboon. And all of a sudden, 25 more baboons showed up. Next thing you know, they shook that damn car until they got out. I said, okay, you know what to do. Give them clothes. Give them damn shoes. And the last thing was to go on all of them with their drawers. And now they sit up there trying them clothes. And the lady, she tried to cover herself up. But, ma'am, it's too damn late. Maybe they should have took you and left the goddamn clothes. Because you killing me over here. I'm saying that right now. And so I'm going to say this in closing.
Okay.
Don't ever play with somebody's emotion. So even after that tiger went over there and he jumped on that orangutan, the orangutan said, and about 200 orangutans came over there and they started chewing on his ass like a Thanksgiving dinner. And he learned quick. Just because you think you see an easy meal, don't mean you gonna eat. And that's all I got said, player.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Yeah. Don't play with emotions, man. People emotions, And just because you think that meal is easy, don't mean that it is, And those are the facts and the truth of life. And Jerry Jones and Al Davis, they both have 3 Super Bowl rings, right? So when we think about like Al Davis, a pillar of the NFL community and historic datas and historic franchise, Jerry Jones have the similar resume, right? But pride comes before the fall. And being prideful and being stuck in your own ways can be just that. But I think that Stephen Jones is more hands-on than Al Davis Jr., whatever his son name. I forgot his name, with the bowl cut, But it is what it is, y'all. I hope that once it's all said and done, because stubborn and stupidness is like neighbors of each other, right? Is that when Jerry do decide to step down, that they sell this team to someone that's not all about chauvinistic mindset, that we can just focus in on this team. It's good to have some of the media attention, but the Cowboys going to get it regardless. We are the stars, and that's just what it is. Nobody like to look up outside at night with no stars, right? We are the stars. We're going to get everybody best shot, the historic franchise that we are. We're going to get that regardless of the situation. But when somebody thinks that they are the reason why, look, Jerry, you are not the reason why. A third of us don't give a dog what you say, and another third of us, the other half, don't really give a dog what Stephen Jones have to say. We just want to see our team win, and they can't get it through their minds. All right, so I got my guy, the winner, man, J May from the 774, and then we had the 910. So hold tight. 774, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Yes, sir.
What's good with you, bro?
Everybody's been spitting facts, man. Next season, we all know three things. Jerry Jones ain't going anywhere. That's
right.
Number one. Dak's not going anywhere. That's number two. And obviously, Micah's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So what Jerry's going to have to do is he's going to have to find a coach or OC that can play to Dak's strengths. 18 to 26 passes, the intermediate game. He doesn't have to go for the deep bomb every single play. That's when Dak gets in trouble. That's when the offense gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Same thing with the defense, and we're gonna have to get a coordinator that can lock onto Micah, like Dan Quinn did.
Yeah.
And just keep him in control. And our defense we're good. We have a young defense. Our defensive line's a little old, but if we can re-sign Ziggy Dua and Bland coming back, we'll be in good shape. And I think number three, the most important thing Jerry's going to have to do, and a lot of people are going to probably laugh at this, but Jerry needs to get the trust of the fans back, man.
Yeah.
Because he needs to. He needs to, man. Because, without the fans, the Cowboys really ain't much. And it kills me to say that, but it's true.
I mean, you're spitting the good truth, man. It's difficult knowing that we have more passionate about this team than he do, or what Steven or whoever else there is, because they say regret. And we have all of these solutions, right? We have all of these things that we are telling him, this is the way of the land. This is what other teams are doing. Regardless of how people like it or not, AI is here to stay. Artificial intelligence is here. Skynet is wide open right now, so you can't be having your business model without it. This is what I'm saying. You got to stay in with the trends. If not, you'll be on the outside looking in and saying what just happened. And the Cowboys are just that. Teams that's winning, they do things in free agency. They do trades up in draft to go get a player that they ultimately want. And they are always keeping their head on a swivel for trade acquisitions. But the Cowboys don't do none of those things.
And that's what we needed. I mean, we don't have a bad team. We have all the key components, there was a time that, once upon a time, players, every single player you would ask wanted to play for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They love playing for the Cowboys. They love what was going on here, but you don't hear that anymore. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's killing me. And one more thing, go back to the fan thing. I was saying is I love the passion. I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life. I love the passion that Cowboys fans have. I'm from New England. Okay, it's completely different around here. As soon as their team starts doing bad, that's it. They talk about a different sport and all in general.
Yeah.
They really do, man. They just give up on the whole team. I love the passion the Cowboys fans have, and I just wish that Jerry Jones knew the passion that we have for our team, man. But I know you got a lot of callers, man. I just want to say thank you once again for everything that you do, brother.
Thank you, man. I got your address, man. I can't wait for you to see it when you open it up, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait. I sent you a bunch of emails.
It's all good, man.
I'm not the most computer tech savvy person, so I asked my daughter to help me out, and she looked at it, she's like, Dad, you sent him 3 emails already.
Yeah.
He's gonna send you a restraining order with the helmet if you don't slow down. So I apologize for that, man.
Nah, you good, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man.
All right, man. Stay blessed, man.
No doubt, man. That's wild, you know. Here the Patriots are within less than a decade or a little bit over a decade done trumped the Dallas Cowboys on the amount of Super Bowl rings, right? Then surpassed the Cowboys, right? They got 6 rings, if I'm not mistaken. And once they start losing, and they start losing, I meant to say, their fan base gone. Their entire fan base is gone. There's no Patriot spirit. There's nobody over here saying, "Yeah, I'm a diehard Patriot guy. I'm the law version of the Patriots guy over here." You know, we got 6 rings, baby. You know, they passion. They talking about the Celtics over there. They talking about Boston College over there. They talking about anything but the Patriots. They for damn sure ain't talking about, man, boy, back in 2000 or back in 05 or 07, whatever the year they won. Oh, back in 2015, 13. Nah, they done moved on. But the Cowboys, Jamie said completely gone. You know what I'm saying? But the Cowboys, we still talking about the 90s like like, yeah, man, and what Emmitt Smith said, you know, he's bald and gray now, you know. He can't even put the 2 parks on the side of his helmet, on the side of his head, you know. Michael Irvin got the playmakers jumping and popping, you know, and Jerry Jones is still talking about, yeah, I regret, you know, and I remember playmaker getting his ass back out there and getting 3 Super Bowls. Like, dude, it would never happen if Jimmy Johnson didn't exist. Yeah. Don't y'all know that the Atari and Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis was out during that time frame? They still talking about us VCR and stuff like that with nothing HD. You know, come on. And Prime too, yeah, on the last Super Bowl. Yeah. Yeah, Celtics won 2 championships this century, though, too. Yeah, you're right. Let me get the next caller on. I got Too Cool from the 910, and I got VIP and Hey Lou. But, hey, Too Cool, you live.
What's good with you, Law?
Was everything good, bro? Talk to me.
Hey, we can go back to when Uncle Charles, right before Uncle Charles got on, and everything you were saying. I don't know if you seen Dion on FS1 on Speak yesterday, right? Did you watch that?
Just snippets, parts of it. What you getting at?
So what I'm getting at right here, everything that everybody is complaining about, every single thing that everybody else is saying, every single thing that the fans want, I challenge all the fans, before you say no to Dion, listen to everything that he told Joy Taylor yesterday. And everything that he told her addresses every single thing that's wrong with the Cowboys. Second, everybody talk about how Jerry Jones always in front of the camera. But name a coach like Deion Sanders that's always on 4 other networks in front of the camera outside of him.
Name a coach.
See, he can compete with Jerry when it comes to that.
Yeah, he would be able to do that.
How many championships in college?
Dion is prime. You know, Dion is what Micah Parsons is right now. Dion, but better, because Dion, who he must be the money, you know what I'm saying? He had rap songs, he had gear and all of that stuff when he first got to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? He was doing that at Florida State. So I get where you're going at. You know, I get where you're going at. If Deion Sanders, if we had a time machine, right? And we pick up the youthful Deion Sanders and put him on this team, right? He would be having a podcast. He would be having his own mixtape CDs. Well, I guess no CDs nowadays, but you get what I'm saying, right? He would have his merch and all of that stuff, and that's just what it is, man. He's a chauvinist too. That's why he get the name Prime, dog. He's a star. Prime, he's prime. That's what it is, bro. He's prime. That's all I can say. He's prime.
Deion said that he tells his players, when you go out there and you open your mouth and you speak, speaking has consequences.
It does.
He said it has consequences. He said when you have a good game, I have you stand up and explain to the team why you had a good game.
Yeah.
So when you think about mentally, when he's doing that, what is he influencing? What is he pushing? What is he trying to get out of his players?
He squeezes his players to get everything great out of them. And people fail to realize he have a higher standard. You can't be hanging around Deion with C's and D's too. So he demand the field things, and also he demand the study things. To just implement this, it goes back to what I'm saying about this, bro. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And the problem is, if Mike McCarthy is still stumbling and stuttering over his words, right, on speaking on what he wants to see from this team, and you seeing the same mistakes that happened 2 years ago visibly here now, then he's not a good coach. You see, Prime, he have mistakes with his players, right? He's seen his mistakes, but they don't make it consistently. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the problem. We seen issues with the Jason Garrett administration, and it'll be 4 years later when we are seeing the same issue, right? Transferable, we seen issues with Mike McCarthy's team. And 3 to 4 years later, we are seeing the same issue. Like discipline, like that playoff game in 2021 when we had 14 and a half penalties. That stuff shouldn't carry over to the next year. And guess what it did? It carried over to the next year. We are still talking about the same thing then, now. That's coaching. That's discipline. That's not good leadership, right? And that's the problem with this team. That's the problem. Yeah. It's a good call from you, bro. What else you got before I let you go?
I got this last thing. Deion said 2 weeks ago he took a walk-on that didn't practice with the first team, didn't practice with the second team, but he just threw him in the game. And they said, why you do that? He said, because I know you was a dog. And he went from a walk-on to he's starting now to a scholarship.
Yeah.
To that 7-2 record. So he's just, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah.
Right. I just think if I just challenge the fans, before you say no to Deion, you have to understand, you got to go back, man. That man is passionate. That's what we miss. We don't need nobody to grab nobody's face mask. I don't need another grown man in my face cursing me out. Need somebody that's passionate. We need a passionate coach. We tired of you sitting on the sideline when the game's on the line and you throwing tablets down, your head hanging down. You come to the podium, you say what the script wants you to say. I need somebody that's passionate, gonna go off script. And when Jerry Jones say something, it's the same thing he addressed Jerry Jones 2 weeks ago when he was talking about Jerry Jones. Deion Sanders is the best candidate for this job. Don't go get no Brad Johnson with this young team in Detroit that he ain't proven himself yet, and they ain't proven themselves yet because they ain't hit turmoil yet because they ain't paid nobody for real. So no, Deion is the best person for the job, and I'm gonna advocate for that until he get here. D2D.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, good. It's too cool. And I feel you, King. King in the chat says King Early, the honest. Here's how it is, man. People will always say, man, I would never, or I won't do this. I'm old enough to remember that Trump said he would never run for presidency. The man's now president twice, right? So people gonna say what they won't do, but they end up doing it anyhow, right? So that's just life, and that's just how things goes, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Write this down. Let me fix this up right quick. Bear with me. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down. They say, for the love of money, is the root of all evil. But that's where most people stop at. That's where most people just halt at, and they preach about that. But the next stanza or the next meaning or the next word of it says, money answereth all things. Do it say some things? Do it say a few things? Do it say this or that? Do it state money answereth all things? Let me know in the chat. Do it say money answereth all things? People will say what they will and won't do, but until the money comes in here and you go, oh, okay, all right, oh, yeah, I'm there. Oh, yeah, I'm there. Money answereth all things, not a few things. And if you got the money and you got the resources and you have the ability to provide, people will change their stance. And if enough of it hits you enough, you'll be sitting there like, yeah, all right, I'm there. I'm there in the flesh. Money talks when you're hungry, yeah. And it goes back to this. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. I got my next guy on the line from the 860 VIP. You're live.
Lord's VIP, baby. Lord, let me say this. I'm going to address a couple of things, Lord, because I love what our fans and I love the passion, but I advise you guys just to think rationally. And you see what's going on. Mm-hmm. I love prime time. And respectfully, they used to call me prime time in school.
Right.
I changed my number because of prime time. So, because, I play, both ways. Pause. But I'm saying, if we are going to, I like, who was that guy you had on in the little, the hypothesis he came up with obviously we got to cut the tackle, and I like Awesome, leave him there.
Double move.
Double move. Original position.
Yeah.
Cut, had Zach take a salary cap cut. Obviously, Zach Martin is off of the books. You got to remember, Zach's going to be off the books, and our DN is going to be off of the books. I mean, I hate to see Law go, but that's another $20 million off of the books. Yeah. So he's right. When he started doing that math, I started thinking, like, damn, where all that math coming from? But yeah. So he's right, dude. And I know our quarterback. Our quarterback wants to win.
Right.
So he's like, man, I'm gonna get this bag.
Right.
So you can finagle the end of my contract.
Yeah.
Hey, you can do what you want if that's gonna help us. Acquire players. But all that being said, if we don't change the temperature in the room, meaning we have to have a coach that comes in, because right now the Lions don't respect our coach.
Right.
The Lion, and it trickles down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that came from the head owner leaving home vulnerable.
Right.
So if the Lion's not respecting him, and I know everybody coming for the Lion, and I don't think the Lion was wrong with what he said. I think what the problem is everybody wants to stay with the opinionated and politically correct. He was damn right. He's like, yo, I want to win for people like that. Shit, but Mike McCarthy not going to be here. He's not going to be coaching next year.
Right.
So I give a damn about
It was just how he articulated and how he was how he said it in the time of it. Just like what Ed Warner said, it's just like he could have led off with it and then had to close out with the other part of it. But I get there's nothing wrong with what he said. It's how it's received and how people are going to excoriate it. Right? People going to say things and it's going to get misconstrued. So even that's just how it is. That's life, unfortunately.
And that's like you said, that's life. But as far as hold on, let me go back to the clip that you played earlier. Ain't no way, Jerry. As much as I love the Cowboys, I wouldn't give a damn if you're serving diamond chips, whatever. Ain't no way I'm watching you lick your fingers and serve me a goddamn thing. Yo. She said she ate it and had to suck it up like it was good. Nah, see.
Open wide because you're thirsty. Yeah, she had to eat it, man.
Nobody's holding them accountable.
Yeah.
If she would have been like, nah, Jerry, I like the Cowboys and all. Thank you for the media pass, but I'm good.
I'm good.
I like sanitary things. Like, come on. You could
Yeah.
have said, I wouldn't even have made up an excuse like, nah, Jerry, like, that ain't right, man.
Sometimes charming get you into those situations. So I don't know what kind of charm he got, but maybe she was so empowered. Money. I'm telling you, like I said, that money thing, it answers a lot of things, though.
That's for somebody else. Not for me, man. I got some integrity, man. We ain't doing that. I'm starting to think that's not salt he's sprinkling on his food, man. That white stuff ain't salt, Lord. We need to check that content, Lord.
Sometimes, boy, sometimes you throw that money and you take it and you throw it at them. You know what I'm saying? And hit them across the face. They get hit a little bit, VIP, and they still shake. You know what I mean?
They say doing a Harlem shake like Diddy. Like, take that.
They still shake when you throw the money at them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Appreciate you.
But I really want to get to, Lord, and I know I banged on it before. Until we get somebody that can change the temperature in a culture, and you know who that is. There's only one person, Lord.
Who that?
There's only one person that could come in and slap some rings on the table and be like, look, this is my ideology. Call Tom. Tom never liked me, but guess what? He'll tell you I put the players in the right position,
right?
And I know he'll himself. He'll have people stand in front of that goddamn window and be like, yo, if we got the ball, I need 12 people standing in front of this window, and Jerry ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
He's not going to let Jerry bully him. And that's the type of mentality we have to have. We can't have a Ben Johnson or somebody like that that's a first-time coach, and they're going to bend over for this guy. I'm afraid he's going to get Kellen Moore because Kellen Moore is that's his little protege.
No doubt, man. You right, man. Appreciate you for calling in, VIP. Let me hear you say it, bro.
Lord, you know what it is. I'm still all about my Cowboys. So how about them Cowboys? I heard Brandon slurping over himself the other day. Slurping.
No doubt, man. That boy wild with it. Yeah. And condolences. I think your name slipped me. You said you lost your little one 6 years ago, and money didn't answer with that. And I get it, physical departures from this planet, absent from the body is present with the Lord, right? But if you have the money, you'll be able to give a proper burial. You'll be able to make sure that celebration time is rewarded, even though you may not get that time back. But you just didn't dig a ditch and say, hey, I didn't have any money, so I'm just going to just put my loved one in there. You have to go get the casket. You got to get the food. You got to make sure that the people that's coming out to the grave site is taken care of. I lost my uncle last week. They had the funeral this past weekend. Of course, I didn't make it. But money so that people can fly in to see the celebration, right? It costs those things. It wasn't freely, right? So people can have room and board and stand so that they can celebrate my uncle on his way out. The casket, the average funeral cost is about $10,000. Money was able to answer some of those things as far as food. People needed something to eat, right? They didn't pass out free food for that. You had to pay for those things. Everything in life is an exchange of money. And people were being able to see the visuals, the painting and the hanging of all of that stuff. So money still even though it may not be the thing that you want, unfortunately, it answered those things. Because there's only 2 people accounted for in the book that didn't witness death. And even it states that they have to come back to go witness death. Enoch and Elijah, right? They still got to come back, was the guy who saw the wheel got in the wheel. They still got to come back. Enoch still got to come back to witness death. You can't escape it. All of us going to have to come back to witness death. So it's just what it is, man. And I pray for all of those who lost their loved ones. But money is what it is. And it would change the hearts of a lot of folks. So time is money. Yep. You're right. So it's never a comfortable situation. But if Jerry Jones ultimately wants to win, you can't do it cheaply. The other teams ultimately wants to win, so they are paying so that these guys can get comfortable. Nobody loves to be in a dictator situation like the Jerry Joneses of the world. These guys are checking out. They saying, wait a minute, hold on. You mean to tell me they paying that much over there in Atlanta? Shoot. I'm on, as soon as my contract is up here, you got me, right? You gonna look out for me, right? They going over there to Atlanta. Or they going over there, Washington? Oh, my God, Washington paying that much? Dan Quinn, you got me, dog? They got me. Look, when my contract is over with, I'm going to go over there to Washington. Coaches no longer are beating down doors to come here to coach here. They use it as a pivotal point so that they can be able to use leverage and say, I coach for the Cowboys. But they paying more in Detroit. Look, there's people that I know personally that left the Cowboys organization, go elsewhere, because the other organization is going to pay them $15,000 to $30,000 more. They are cheap. The Cowboys are cheap for sure, and I ain't trying to beat up the Joneses, but they are. This social media world now, in the way when people start talking about, hey man, there's no state taxes in Texas, but Texas stand for taxes. Shoot, them property taxes eat you up alive out here. Yeah, indeed. Shoot. Yes, and then by the time you still driving up the infrastructure here, going up and down George Bush Turnpike, yeah, you gonna have to pay to be in Dallas. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a lot of money. And these players, look, that whole notion, the NFL is not stupid. They know how to tax the player for whatever city they in when they play on that day. Yeah. So yeah, I'm playing for Dallas Cowboys, man. There's no state income taxes, But hey, you had 17 games, and a half of those games were at different states where we still gonna collect. Uncle Sam is undefeated, baby. Yeah, no, and you can't negotiate with Uncle Sam. Yeah, I asked my tax preparer, hey, is there a way that I can claim Uncle Sam? Come on, man. This uncle charging too much. I got A-Lou from the 304, then I got my guy from Mississippi on the 601 hotline, so stay tall with me over there. A-Lou, you're live. Talk to me.
What's going on?
All is well. Can't complain.
Good. I got time today. First of all, condolences to the loss of your family member. You know,
appreciate
never
that.
Easy.
Never
it's,
easy. Yeah.
It's always, but it like you said. And always got to remember, money is not the rule of all evil.
It's the love. Yeah, come on with it, baby.
The love of money.
Yeah.
Now, if you love it, then that's a totally different story. But I born and raised in the church, so I'm with you. That's why I like listening to you.
Appreciate you.
But what I will say is, this situation that we're in as fans and Jerry Jones has created. The issue is that they won't change the way they're thinking, and they won't change the way they to operate. Like you said, they want to do it the way that they want to do it. The first time that they got Jimmy Johnson in there, Jerry was off on a tangent trying to create a brand. So Jimmy was here running the operations, running the team day in, day out, and he would go in day out and assess his players. He knew what players were coming. He knew the psychology of the players, how to get the best out of them, get the most out of them. Yep. He was the catalyst for all that we have, and that Jerry's hanging his hat on. Jerry saw that. Jerry says, I built the brand. I need the credit for the chip. Jimmy says, you don't know a damn thing about what we're doing here.
Yep.
Get the hell on.
Yep. Yep, and he embarrassed Jerry when they was all at that bar drinking and stuff like that. Yep. I just wish if he never went to that bar, maybe still have Jimmy. It gonna happen regardless.
Well, you got to think it's gonna happen regardless because Jimmy, you got to understand that the type of alpha male Jimmy is. Mm-hmm. He probably 5'8", but he's fired and he ain't gonna let that shit slide.
Right,
and that's what we need today. Dion will be a great hire. Because he can do the same thing can Jerry do. Jerry can do. He is exactly a mirror of Jimmy Johnson if you really want to look at it from that perspective.
Facts. Yeah.
Outside of and on top of, he played the game at a high level.
Yeah.
Exactly what we need. Somebody who knows these college kids when they're coming out. He's already done the scouting. Mm-hmm. Somebody who can tell these players what to do because he's played the game at a high level around other high level players.
Yeah.
Somebody who has skins on the wall when it comes to championships, coaching, teaching, developing men.
Right.
All men, young, middle, old, and so forth and so on. But the problem is Dallas isn't big enough for Jerry and Dion.
Yeah.
And Dion secretly knows that. He saw that when he was in Dallas. When he, when they were going through they were, doing campaigns together. Mm-hmm. They had commercials together.
Yeah,
they had a bunch of shit together.
Yeah,
he knew that back then.
Yeah,
but Jerry helped grow his brand. He played both sports. He did the commercial. He signed off on Dion. He signed off on Dion becoming an analyst. He had to do the work, but at the same time, it did not help when you have a billionaire backing you with that.
Yeah,
and you did a great job of showcasing how we can open up this $100 million of cap space to still sign Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
Jerry, they'll do that. The caller said your first caller said it, hit the nail on the head. They'll do that, but they'll do that in June.
Yeah,
yeah, do all that.
Yeah,
all that in June. So they don't. They can hang their hat on. Oh, we got this one to sign. We got this one to sign, and then you'll go ahead and you'll rearrange. You do this and the third. Now you got $30 million, which you do right now, or 24 to be exact. $30 million during the season that you can't really sign any influential player that can make a change in this organization.
Yeah, and the problem is with the Cowboys. Is that they believe in that it takes an isolated player to win the game. Since we paid you, we want you to win the game. Whereas the other organization, they understand that it's a complete team sport. And I'm going to build, this is my base or my foundation, and I'm going to build around it. Just like, and the craziest thing, Lou, is that some of the fans, they buy into what Jerry's and the Stevens is saying. They say, yeah, get rid of Parsons. Let's Parsons is the enemy. He's the poison pill. When any other team will build around him. Don't you see how much the 49ers is building around Bosa?
Mm-hmm.
They put a Fred Warner. They put, another interior guy. They make sure they get DBs. They make sure that they continue to build around him,
And then they turn around and they'll go get a Randy Gregory to see what it looks like. They'll get what's my guy out of DC to DN.
Oh yeah, Chase Young and them.
They'll get a Chase Young just to see what he can do.
Yeah.
Go get these players. Yeah, granted, it's the same type of situation that Dallas does. They get the run-of-the-mill player. But they still got. First of all, they have talent. Mm-hmm. Second, they have draft stability so far.
Right.
They've been high in the draft or been thought of as a player.
Right.
And then on top of that, they've produced somewhere, not in the XFL.
Right.
not on the damn. Not on the damn preseason scrimmages. They've actually produced at a high level. But isn't it ironic that Jerry resembles a lot of how the president of the United States runs the country? Isn't it kind of ironic how they, if you really look at it, step back, you can see the resemblance in the two.
Okay.
Don't know. Neither one of them know what the hell they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They won't do the necessary things to put people in position to win. Get rid of everything and think that they can run it just like a mom and pop shop.
But here's my thing though. With Trump versus Jerry, I think that Trump is more assertive than Jerry. I think that Trump, they both witty, you're right, and they both billionaires, by the way. But I think that Trump, he brands his thing with everything with Trump. I get all of that. But I think that Trump also, he knows how to assemble better than Jerry to this degree. Whereas he listened to other billionaires, and you can see the implementations of that. Whereas Jerry, he have a sense of listening to his son or listening to other guys without the finite reason of making things happen. Even though I get your correlation there, But I appreciate you calling in.
No problem.
No doubt. That's my guy. Hey, Lou, that's my guy. Next we have on deck is the 601. Then I have my guy Lux from the 469. Lux. I got my guy from the 601. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me, man.
What it do, big homie? What it do?
What up, man? My dog, man. How you living, man?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, I'm doing wonderful, brother. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I can't complain, bro.
Great, man. I know you got other people waiting to come on, man. I'm going to pull over and park. I got something to spit at you, brother.
Okay.
Cowboy Nation, man, we need to think about something as far as Jerry Jones is concerned. Yeah. And I think we are overlooking the fact that Jerry is Jerry. And what I mean by that is Jerry is narcissistic.
Yeah.
Jerry is hard-headed and stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry is in love with his way of doing things.
Yeah.
If we look at the characteristics, let's just think about it. He loves the circus. He loves the bright lights. He always wants somebody to be looking at the brand.
Yeah.
Who would be more advantageous for that other than Prime? I don't think there's anybody on the planet that would create as much stir, as much press. Man, every 30 seconds you see another story about them on ESPN if he went and got Prime. But now here's the thing, and Jerry's desperate in his own way to actually turn this thing around. Man, if you look in Jerry's eyes, I've never seen this. I've been a Cowboy fan since I was 5 years old. I'm 56.
Okay.
I've watched this intensely. I have never, ever seen Jerry Jones look like he's looking in his eyes. You can see the fear in his eyes. Law, I have never seen that in Jerry Jones. He's always had that big bad bite to come back at you with. I believe that outlash we heard on the radio from him a few weeks ago to those guys, man, that was fear talking. That wasn't just his ego, that was fear. So I believe that Jerry's fearful because, number one, Jerry knows he's about to check up out of here. He don't have long. So what he's got to do is he's got to make a big splash. He's got to make a big splash now. And here's the other side of a coin.
What up?
For a narcissist, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Okay. For a narcissist billionaire, what do you want to do, man? You want to maintain your legacy. You want to make sure that what you've built continues. Who continues to build the hype more than Prime? Stephen Jones does not have the gravitas.
No,
he don't have the charisma to actually continue what Jerry has started as far as this being a media buzz franchise.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's got to do something. He got to do something quick. So, okay, let's just say he said, okay, Prime, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Well, here's how this goes, though. The whole Prime thing is only subject to if you get his son.
That's where I was just going.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You just paid $250 million to your star-studded quarterback. So, of course, the Cowboys still need a backup quarterback because both of these quarterbacks is on the final years of their contract. They don't have a foreseeable contract for the future. So I'm quite sure the Cowboys going to draft a quarterback or pick up a quarterback for the 2025 season. But all of this is only speculative if the Cowboys draft Shador. Dion is only going to go where Shador is at. Now, Shiloh and all of this stuff, because he even had a rankings of his own kids, by the way, you know. So Dion is just different, right? So I'm looking at it like this. He already said he wanted to be in the dome team. I think the Raiders probably have the strongest chance of seeing this whole thing play out the way it is, you know. But the Cowboys, we are stuck in our ways. We are definitely different from what the philosophy and the principles of what prime time will bring. Here in Dallas, that halftime they playing Dolly. Pardon, they ain't playing this over here, bro. They ain't playing.
Give me my theme music.
They ain't doing none of that. They ain't finna change the culture that way, you know. You know, all of my exes live in Texas. Mama said they gonna be on that end of it, so they are not finna adopt all of this stuff. Have you been to the game? You know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not that culture, and they're not finna rip apart like you said. Stephen Jones got no swag. Charlotte Anderson Jones don't got no swag. Jerry Jones Jr. don't got no swag. Only person who got the swag to a degree is the dad, right? And he's on his way out. Like, come on, bro. So I don't think that's the situation there, that he will step back out of the light unless he's gone, right? And I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see it.
I tell you what, Law, you and I very seldom disagree, brother, but I got a sneaky suspicion.
What you got?
Somehow.
I
think that's going to be his last hurrah. He's got to have a last hill to stand on. I believe that's going to be his last hill. I really do. Remember the whole thing? Hey, we like our guys. He's one of their guys. But what is this? Okay, now we know how the draft thing goes and so forth and so on. And it just may not be possible to get your son right now. But what if we get your bonus son right now in the draft? And then I'll give you a guarantee. When your son comes up for contract, Travis Hunter, yes, sir. When your son's son, your biological son, comes up for contract, whatever it takes, I'll go get him. And if I'm not here, we'll put it in writing. Stephen, just a man's agreement. Stephen will go get him.
Boy, you've been thinking about this for a long time.
Man, I'm telling you, this dude, if you can stare into the psyche of a narcissist, man, and the way that a person like this thinks, their pride is everything. He's going to build everything he can up because, man, the man is old. Unfortunately, unfortunate for him and his family, he's going to leave before long. That's just life.
Well, what about this?
So he's got to have that last hurrah. Just like he built that stadium as a monument to himself, he's building somewhere behind the scenes right now, guarantee you, in his mind, he's building another monument. He can't build another physical monument.
What about this,
though? He can build another,
What about this before I let you
he's
go?
Building another monument.
You said narcissist. You said narcissist, and you said this. And one of the things that they ultimately will go to the grave with is the need to be right. See, all what you preached on, all that you said,
you're right,
can be swiped away from here because who do you think he loved more? Prime time or the need to be right with Kellen Moore?
I hate you, Long. You can't do that, man.
He gonna go get he gonna go get Kellen Moore next year. He said, I told you. Kellen Moore knew where the sun was at. Kellen Moore, when he was here, he was brilliant. He was speaking goodness and greatness about Kellen Moore this week. So yeah.
No,
he coming back for his son. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. Yeah. Oh my God, appreciate you, bro. Man. Thank you so much for calling in, my Mississippi brother. Yes, it is. Yeah, he coming back for his son. son. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. Yeah, the prodigal son returns. You know, that's what's going to happen, baby. He can say, I'm going to cut up the fattest cow. Yeah. I'm going to give him all of the goodness and all of the good food and everything. We're going to throw a party to celebrate. Yeah. Oh my gosh, bringing back his son. Oh man, in the circle of life. Humanada, 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 Shit. He's bringing them back. It's just what it is. He's gonna use. Look. The Eagles now got top 5 offense. They looking good right now. They just blew us out in our own home. My son, I should never got rid of him. He knows Dak Prescott. He is. Oh my gosh, man. From the 469. What's on your mind, my dog? What's good? You live.
Buenos tardes, Law Nation.
What's good, bro?
¿Cómo estás, mi hermano? How are you doing, man? It's Los here. How are you?
Man, I'm doing okay, man. Yeah.
Hey, this season is a nightmare, but it is what it is, right, Law Nation? Can't skin a cat, you know that saying. You can skin a cat 1,000 ways, but at the end of the day, you skin a cat.
Yeah, he's gonna skin that cat, yo.
Yeah, but this year, shit, the way Jerry wants to skin that cat, he probably does it so messed up that hey, you can't even. It's not even a cat to dissect. It's probably already fucked, you know.
Fucked up. Yeah. I get you. Go ahead.
but anyways, here's my 2 points, and I'll get you out of here. But Jerry ain't gonna change.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We just. It's sad to see what the Cowboys have become because, you know, I'm not trying to talk about the good old glory days, right? But, you know, we used to have a winning culture, right?
Yeah.
Back to the Jimmy Johnson, Tom Landry days. You know, it was fixed upon winning.
Right.
Know? And it's not easy to bring that culture in. It takes time and your type of players you want to bring in. And the thing is, I don't think, and this is to my second point. I don't think Dion. I would love Dion to be a Cowboys head coach. Yeah. But I think he said it himself. He wants to continue building character to man. You know, voice to man, correct? And he doesn't want to be in a room full of divas. Yeah. And one thing this locker room is a lot of me guys. Yeah. Case in point, Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, hell, we didn't even need him on the team, but Jerry out here. Now, look here, son. I know I did you bad last year, but I really need you to come through this year, boy. Yeah. I'll tell you what. You're gonna run those 2 yards per yard carry, but I got you, son. No matter what. Playoffs, I got you, son. Yeah. If you average 1.5 yard per carry, I got you, son. You're gonna be on that field because you know what? You are my investment. And one thing I want to do is be right. Boy, I won't be right with you. Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is, Law. So you can't change old man new tricks. And that old man is old Jerry, and you want to know who that new dog is? Stephen Jones.
Oh yeah.
Jones. So I mean, this Cowboys organization is in for a treat, and all those Dak haters. Let me say this. And Romo haters, y'all gonna see how lucky we have been throughout the years landing these quarterbacks. They don't fall from trees, right? And if y'all are in misery now, just think upon the misery when it takes in order to land a number 1 or number 3 draft pick and see if it turns out. Case in point, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he was the number 1 draft pick. He was supposed to be the next Patrick Mahomes. How's he doing? But that is. Peace out, Law Nation.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for calling in, man. Good call from him, man. Great points, man. I got 240, then I got the 201. 240, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me, bro.
What's going on, Lawson?
Not much. No, yeah, man, you sound muffled, but I'll fight through it. Go ahead. What you got?
Hold on, let me sound the mic. That sound a little better there?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, man. Sure, man. I just wanted to talk to you, man, about some names with you, man. Names like Tristan Hill, Taco Charlton, and just names like that. It's on my mind, man. It's always on my mind. Kelvin Joseph and guys like that. But we picked up, man. It's for nothing, man. It's like we're building through this draft, man, and it just don't make sense, Like, it's like it's never going to change, That's what it feels like, at least.
Right. Yeah, man. You still muffled a little bit, but I'll pick that up, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for calling in, fam.
All right.
Yeah, he was muffled a little bit, but I'll say this to echo with what I'm saying with Kelvin Joseph, the failed draft picks that we had in the past. Those were things that all teams must face, but it always amplified over here, right? That's just what it is, man. It's amplified over here, and Cowboys, we haven't been doing a great job with that, We can talk about Diggs, Parsons, Tyler Smith as being great draft picks for us, Bland, but we missed a lot too, Yeah, like Fihoko, both of the Fihokos, man, they on somebody else's team right now, So we just need to be able. In fact, man, he's still making mixtapes and stuff like that. I feel y'all. So it is what it is, man. But let me get my guy on, man. $100,000 with the plan, man. What you got, bro? What you got for me, man?
Listen, man.
What's up, bro?
Deion don't want to come here. He don't want to coach in the NFL. I get what you're saying, but
right.
He said it too many times that he don't want to coach in the NFL, and I heard he just recently said it again.
Yeah.
So y'all can cut it out.
But you know what? Hold on, $100,000. I get what you said. Hey, did you watch Mighty Ducks back in the day?
Man, this ain't a movie.
No, it is. It's Jerry Jones' movie, man. Did you watch Mighty Duck back in the days? And when they found out that they're Mighty Ducks, man. Yeah. I got to talk about the Mighty Ducks, man. Yeah. See. They were terrible, and we were. Let me talk about these Mighty Ducks, though. Hear me out, bro. I forgot which one it was the first one or the second one, and the coach, and they thought he was about to leave, and their heads got longer than Jay Leno's chin because they thought he took the job elsewhere, and they had the game to play. Yeah. So Prime right now, he can't be saying, yeah, I'm going to the pros. I'm finna go, I'll take this job. He can't say that. But let Shador fool around and get drafted by the Cowboys or Travis Hunter and them. You think that he's not going to be a consultant or fly in or speak his mind about that? Especially if it's his son. Come on, bro.
Bro, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Number one, they ain't going to draft him for that reason. He's going to be outspoken. The moment he don't get the playing time, Prime, he going to have something to say.
Yeah.
He going to say, man, I know how Shador play. The coach ain't doing it right. Lord, we ain't ready for that. We ain't ready for a ball. Come on, Lord.
Oh, snap.
We're not about to do that, man.
Oh, I just had an epiphany. Oh my God, it just hit me. He's going to the Raiders. Who partially owned the Raiders? Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady partially owns the Raiders.
Tom Brady partially owns the Raiders. Tom Brady helps coach him.
Shador Sanders is literally gonna. Oh my gosh!
They've been talking about him.
It just hit me.
Anyway, so
he going to the Raiders gonna end up losing every game from here on out. Watch.
And plus,
oh my God.
Look at the culture. Look at
Oh
the
my
money.
gosh.
You want to talk about?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Money. Come on, dog. In Vegas.
Vegas.
Already in Boulder, Colorado, which ain't far.
Ain't that far? Ooh. Hey man, I'm gonna put some money line on that, dog. Yeah. what up, shit?
Prime time.
Oh shit. Ooh, and them colors, that black with the silver. Ooh.
It's about to be a movie in Vegas.
Oh.
I'm trying to tell you. If
Oh, yeah.
Prime was to leave, he'd go to Vegas before he come to Texas.
Oh yeah. It seems like that's the power play. It's the Raiders. It's Raiders. It's power play.
The
Yeah.
Raiders say Prime, you could do whatever you want. He's not getting that here, people.
Right. Oh my
I don't care.
God.
Y'all could talk about how, he got the fortitude to tell Jerry no. You know what that means? You're not coming here, son.
Yup. And then they embrace the culture there. They got the dome. It's oh my God.
Stadium. They embrace the culture. They embrace all that you was playing and all that. Man, go ahead. Let it rock and roll over there, and he'll turn Vegas up over there.
Turn it up.
He's not doing that in Dallas because Dallas is all corporate and all about.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go there, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dallas ain't built for that, man.
Yeah.
It's just not happening over here in Dallas.
Yeah.
You want Bray Poupon on your crackers?
Oh my God.
That's Dallas.
Bro.
That's Dallas. That ain't Vegas land.
Yeah.
No way in the world. You ain't about to have Cardi B, Offset, Cameron, and all these people.
Ooh, Snoop. Oh yeah, Snoop. All of it. Yeah.
They're not going for that in Dallas, man. Y'all don't understand how the culture is over here. That's why we trash is all corporate. You can't yell at your players. You can't show emotion. You can't do none of that mess over here. It's not that the players ain't got no heart and they soft. You are not allowed to do that in Dallas. Because the top won't let you. How many people got to do it and they got to be told not to, and y'all to see it right there in y'all face? But y'all talk about, man, the players are soft. There's no emotion on the sideline. There's no, man, they staring off in space because they can't do it over here. And it got nothing to do with the coverage. If you yelling and screaming at the player, man, we might lose a sponsor. No, you better be buttoned up and put that suit on and do all this and that so we can keep our sponsors and we can keep the Saudis coming over here and the corporate people coming over here sitting in the seats and not clapping, just sitting over here chilling and they drinking wine and all that. Come on, that's the environment that Jerry Jones has made. So you will never see. That's why when you see a coach, they button up and they get in line and they do the same old corporate thing. You ain't never going to see no fire, none of this. You're never going to see it because Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones won't allow it. They're corporate over here. That's why our players go to other places and you see personalities. You see them having fun. You see them doing all of that because they are allowed to do it more over there than they're allowed to do it here. I don't understand why y'all so.
Shout out to Bubba Dub, man. He said the same thing the other day, and he was like, "Shoot, yeah." He said he gonna take his talent over there to the Buffalo because they got influencer program, content influencer program. Cowboys don't have that. They don't give a dog about it.
They don't have none of that.
Yeah, they don't have none of that.
They don't embrace nothing unless you go online and you get the scratch. Then we'll let you. And then as soon as we let you do it, you got to do this guideline. You got to do that guideline. You can't be too boisterous. You can't be this. You can't be that. And that's that. And everybody, I'm tired of you guys talking about, well, in the 90s it was this, in the 90s it was that. It was a different time. He was just building the brand then.
Yeah, man, boy.
Now that the brand is built, and he figured out that's the structure that you got to roll to make the most money.
Yep, and they said
It ain't
Warren
going nowhere.
Warren Sapp played for the damn Raiders too. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, you 1000% right, bro. Shoot, you right. So Kellen Moore, baby. Oh, what you call him? You call him Kevin Moore, baby. Yeah.
Kevin Moore is perfect. You want to know why Kevin Moore is perfect? Because he knows the program. He knows how it works over here. And he's willing to say, okay, Jerry, okay, Steven, what do you need me to do? All right, I'll do it. That no ID offense, okay, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. No problem. And take the check. Dion ain't coming over here and doing that.
Yeah.
And if you saw Dion do that, and be just like a carbon copy of Jason Garrett and all of that, then y'all be, man, Dion, what happened? All this passion. Dion ain't as great as I thought he was. Y'all go over there and bang on Dion. Y'all won't sit here and say, man, it is Jerry and Steven, because every time a new coach come in here, they do the same old thing the other coach did. When are y'all going to realize that and stop blaming it on the players? The players. It's Jerry and Steven and their structure and how they want the players to move, how they want, and that's it. That's how it is. You can only maneuver a little bit, push it a little bit, but if you push it too much, you're gone.
Push it to the limit, man. Appreciate you so much, man. 100 grand.
So Kevin Moore, we got Kevin Moore. Let's go.
No doubt, man.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And he gonna bring his staff. He gonna have Jason Witness, the offensive coordinator. Sean Lee. Bring Sean Lee back. That's DC. Come on, Cowboys.
It's gonna be the same thing. Next year we're gonna be like, man, what's going on? It's the same thing every year.
Oh my gosh,
different year.
Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for calling in, bro. Appreciate you, man. Oh my gosh, man. For the others, man, that was waiting, man, we're going to end it with my guy. And give me my theme music. Come on with it. Jeez. Oh, my gosh, man. So, no prime time for your mind, you know, and he's – but Money Dude still can change some things, though. I ain't going to even sit back here and say it can't. But we got some super chats that we're going to read. Shout out to iRock for 27 months of being a member here. Appreciate you. Angie, the Rebel Chick, shout out to you for being a platinum level 3 and for 3 months, man. I appreciate you. Law, can you tell Eric the Bird Brain to leave me alone? I'm DC for life. So Eric, and Neil, man, leave Angie, the Rebel Chick, alone, man. You know, leave her alone. Leave her alone. And then Eric, the old head young bull Stewart, says, is going on, Law. Much respect to you and the I guess due diligence or diligence work that you are doing. Shout out to you. And I think Eric Stewart, on my Hooked on Funny Guys, if I can read that right, I think that he is an Eagle fan, you know. But neither here nor there, man. Shout out to you, Stephen Gibson. Appreciate you. He says, brother was spitting fire. So Cisco and Ebert's new movie, Return of the Smelling of the Moors, you know. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Cowboy Nation, everyone that's standing tall with us. The solution. Just like anything, let's play it one more time, the solution that my guy brought to the table for those who just not tuning in.
The Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window is actually about to open up again. With 3 simple moves after this season, the Cowboys could go into 2025 free agency with nearly $100 million in cap space. All they have to do is restructure Dak Prescott's contract, freeing up nearly $40 million for the 2025 cap. Then they can restructure CeeDee Lamb, which frees up nearly $40 million as well. And then they can designate Terrence Lawrence steal as a post-June 1 cut, which saves over $12 million. With those three simple moves, Dallas has plenty of money to sign Micah Parsons and make moves during free agency to get this roster back in order for a new coach. It was so they could do more during the bulk of CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott's contracts, while also letting Mike McCarthy play out the final year of his deal and starting fresh. Not to mention, Dallas has 10 draft picks to use in 2025. Whether they look to make a trade or make all 10 of those picks, that's a ton of draft capital for any team. To me, this seems like a really good plan, and if they pull it off, their Super Bowl window opens right back up.
Yeah, that's his analysis there. Regardless of whether you guys like it or not, Dak is here for 2032. Lamb is here until the year of 2028, 29, something like that. So these guys are here for a long time, and what you want to do is figure out a way, scratch your head, and build around that. Not to destroy that because they got no trade clauses on their contract. I don't think Lamb got one, but I know for sure Dak got a no trade clause on his contract. So the best way is to move some of that money into some of those voidable years and figure out how you can get things going. I would tell you this. The salary cap is going to increase. By the year 2032, it'll probably be right at $1 billion, believe it or not. Yeah, because we right there at $250,000 right now with the salary cap. So it's going to increase. Yeah. So the Cowboys should operate in that fashion. But these are things that we're taking it and throwing it at the wall to see what can stick. We had solutions. Finite solutions. The problem is that they don't look at the free agency as the answer. The philosophy, the core of what Stephen Jones said, you play C players like they're B players and B players like they're A players in the free agency. Well, in the last 15 years of 15 Super Bowls that's won, you can look back at an acquisition that they made in the free agency period on what allowed them to get over the hump. You can look at the trade acquisition that they made during the season in the last 15 Super Bowls that was won. Something happened in free agency. Something happened with a trade. And those are two departments that we don't operate in good or greatly at. You see, the person who wants to make the apple pie, they are not in the orange aisle. They're not at the gas station trying to let me get 5 on pump 3. You know what I'm saying? They in the apple pie aisle, right? They looking at apples. Verily, verily, I say unto you all that's watching, the team that wants to win the Super Bowl, it's a copycat league for a reason. They go and do what other teams done, and they do it like it never been done. And you can elephant tongue, shout out to Louise, But we can't, like Dre Maddox said, we can't hustle backwards. We got to lean forward to the new alternative ideas. Another part of it is also you got to have strong coaching. You got to have that. You got to have discipline. We talked about boundaries. You got to establish that because boundaries is right next to discipline. And if you don't have discipline and you don't have boundaries, you have chaos, dysfunction. You have the Cowboys for what we've been trying to operate in the last 28 years. Talent is here, believe it or not, but how you use that talent. You see, Bruce Lee, he wasn't 300 pounds. He wasn't 250 pounds. He wasn't even 200 pounds. But he punched you. You feel it. It only takes 2 pounds of pressure to break a knee. So I'm telling y'all right now that the Dallas Cowboys just got to learn how to utilize the weapons that they have for right now. And if you're going to go that route, it's going to come from good coaching. Excuse me, great coaching. You know. Mama said there'll be days just like this, but write this down. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep. If all of your desires makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap. If life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, plan. That's the number one plan. If you plan for it and lose all terror of your mind, you will simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. And neither cold or poverty or famish or fame, or the sickness of body or brain, can turn you away from the things you want. If dogged and grim and besiege and beset, Cowboy Nation, with the help of Almighty, Cowboy Nation, you will get it. Appreciate y'all. If we offended anyone, charge it to my beard, not my heart. Let's continue to grind and shine. Hey, it's always a positive day when you're in the sunlight, right? Where that sunlight at? It's way over here somewhere. Come on with it. One love, baby. He says, let me get 3 on pump 2. Yeah.
Give me my thing, you.
Yeah. Come on, prime time.
Check or something. Really in the film,
Appreciate you, Rico, Suave, Lee Stewart, Oak Cliff. Come on, that was it. Prepare for Corey. Go Cowboys. And roll those credits. We ain't got a long credit list today. That's okay. That's how y'all feel. Jamie.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still say and roll my change. Take some losses when I play.
Charge it to my chin. Charge it to the beard, baby. Who will law? Liver and onion season. Well, give me some gizzards, man. Smother mines. Give me some gizzards. Gizzard law. Hey. Man, liver good, man. Livers and onions, man. Make mine smothered, though. Ooh, wee. Give some mushrooms and oh my God. Caramelize my onions, though. Hey, can I get some mashed potatoes with mine? Make sure you got the good butter. Give me that butter, love. Come on. Who eating tacos today? Ice cold, I'm on my way. Salisbury steak, baby.
Let me crack your cream. Fertilize your breath. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. I have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Emotional damage.
No, I don't do the chitlins though. Nah, I don't do the chitlins. Nah, hog maws. I do some hot water cornbread though, you know. If y'all enjoy this show, please, man. Hit that like button, man. The likes been so down lately that YouTube even say, "Hey, Law, what's going on with your likes, man?"
Please come home. I got beans and bologna.
Come on with it.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, I gave you everything I had. I gave everything I had.
I gave y'all everything I had.